Hey everybody, welcome to a brand new Ike Live. The show is brought to you by some amazing companies, including the presenting sponsor of Ike Live, Mystery Tackle Box MTB. It's like happiness right to your doorstep once a month. Mystery Tackle Box puts brand new lures, hot items in your hand once a month. Listen to me. Use the promo code Ike Live. Get 30% off your first Elite box or 50% off your first Pro box. That's unbelievable. Also brought to you by Tin Cup Whiskey. God, I love whiskey. This is American style whiskey cut with Rocky Mountain water. It's got a classic finish to it. I personally love the rye. It's got a little bit of a bold, spicy finish. You're going to love this stuff. Straight from the Rockies to your glass. Also brought to you by TH Marine, the maker of great marine products, from everything from a John boat to a Biggie Smalls yacht. That's TH Marine. Go to thmarine.com, use the promo code Ike Live, and get $10 off a $50 order or more. Unbelievable. Brought to you by Flambeau, the makers of the best tackle storage systems in the world, including the brand new Crank Bank and Blade Crate. Of course, every single Flambeau tackle storage system has Z-Rust incorporated to help keep your hooks rust-free. Go to flambeauoutdoors.com, use the promo code Ike Live, and get 20% off your entire order. That's unbelievable. Brought to you by Founders Beer. God, I love Founders. I'm such a beer guy, and I like all styles of beer. Founders makes them. I want you to go to foundersbrewing.com, or even better yet, download the Founders app. And by doing that, you can find out what dealer or bar has Founders right near you. Also, they're going to keep you ahead of the curve on brand new beer releases. That's foundersbrewing.com. This show's brought to you by Liquid Mayhem. Scent matters. Listen to me. If you want to catch more fish, if you want to catch bigger fish, try some Liquid Mayhem, put it on your favorite lure, and you're going to get bit. Go to liquidmayhem.com, use the promo code Ike Live. You ready for this? For 25% off your order of the best scent on the market, Liquid Mayhem. Also brought to you by Heshy Socks. That's right, Heshy Socks. Who doesn't love a good, comfortable, well-fitting sock? And guess what? The Ike Live crew had a hand in this, and we've got specially designed Ike-style socks just for you. Cushioned foot and toe, stay-up technology, and they've got a technology built in there where they won't stink. This is unbelievable, okay? Great designs, under $10, with the code Ike Live at heshywear.com. Also, they have Ike Foundation design socks. All proceeds go to the Ike Foundation. Brought to you by Torqeedo Motors, the leader in electric motor drives. If you're one of the guys like me, you have a tiny boat, you have a John boat, you live on an electric-only lake, get a Torqeedo if you want to be the fastest, most efficient boat on the water. Go to torqeedo.com. And last but not least, the Ike Live show is brought to you by Hobie Kayaks. Hobie is the Cadillac of kayaks, and kayak fishing is changing the world. Easy access, easy to get into. I want you to go to Hobie.com to check out their large array of kayak products, including the one that I use, the Hobie 360. Listen to me. Prepare yourself. Get your popcorn. Get your Founder's Beer and Tin Cup Whiskey. Get ready for a brand new Ike Live show coming up live right now. Come on, let's watch. Hey everybody, welcome to a brand new Ike Live. The show is brought to you by some amazing companies, including the presenting sponsor of Ike Live, Mystery Tackle Box.
They got to hear the intro twice.
Listen, we need
That's how important our
buffer
sponsors
between the end of that and the beginning of that.
We got to have a buffer. Write that down. We're taking chances tonight.
Jake, write that down.
Folks at home, how you doing tonight? Hope you're having a wonderful Sunday. Listen, we have a great show in store for you tonight. We're taking chances all night. First things first, we got a great room tonight for you. Riz, is this the first time? I know you've co-hosted BU Live before, but is this the first time actually in the co-host chair for Ike Live, or have you done it before? I can't remember.
I've sat up here with you, Mike, but this is going to be a little bit different because I don't have the laptop
right.
the message board at
right.
the same
You're
time.
not in control of any of that crap.
I'm excited about it.
That's why Jake's taking the chances. You're not taking any chances.
We're taking chances with our sponsors having me sitting up here.
That's right. Well, we're willing to take the chances. We got Rizzo, a.k.a. Rich.
Riz Unleashed.
Riz Unleashed, co-host tonight. Thank you, man, for coming in. This is nice to have you in.
Yeah.
If you thought you were escaping the Ike Live responsibilities or roles in the show, you will never escape this.
That's right.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It'll be 15, 20 years from now, and we'll still have you. Oh, yeah, you'll still be a part of the show somehow. So
I like it.
you're never getting out of it.
Yeah.
Also tonight, guys, we've got in the room with us, we've got two guys making it happen over here behind the board. Of course, our very own Brian the Carpenter, making plays, producing the show tonight. And we've got Jake. Jake's good to have you back, man. Show number 2.
Yeah.
Now, I tasked everyone with this before. They were easy on you.
You tasked them.
And I'm going to task everybody again. If you're watching tonight, we've all known Jake here in the studio for a long time. Jake might be new to you and a fresh face to you, but we need a nickname for Jake. So if you're watching and listening, I don't care if you're listening, you hear his breath, breathe real quick, Jake. There it goes. We need a nickname for Jake. We've got Jake from State Farm. We've got Jake the Snake, but they're overdone. We need a really good nickname. So, Jake, thank you. Pushing buttons tonight for us, taking some IMs and stuff like that.
Taking some chances.
Okay, taking some chances.
Taking chances.
We got a great show. Let me just get right to it. You ready for this, Bri? Any of these legends that come on, I always get giddy and borderline nervous, sweating. Yes. You know how you're always nervous when the camera's on you? I only get nervous when these legends come on. But I do honestly get nervous.
I know.
Dude, we've got Zell Rowland. Woo. I mean, GOAT.
It's a big one.
Like true GOAT coming on with us tonight. Cannot wait to get Zell on. And this is some time in the making, Brian. We've been working on it. Things didn't jive. Right, and then finally,
that's right.
Things laid out.
He got in his truck and he drove from where he was to where he is to be on tonight.
Wow,
to make it happen.
That's awesome. Well, I'm so excited. So we've got Zell Rowland, segment 1 for you guys. In the second segment, dude, another one right up there with Zell, but more in the modern era.
Yep.
2-time, not one. You know how hard this is? 2-time U.S. Open champion Roy Hawk joined us. Yep. Cannot wait to get Roy on and talk a little to Roy. Roy's a good dude, man. I want to talk more about that later. Yeah, he's a really good dude. We got a great show. Real quick, let me remind everybody, Riz, you know this better than anybody. We do this little giveaway of the Ike Live gift bag, and if you're watching over on Facebook, all you have to do is like and share the feed.
That's right.
Like and share the feed on Facebook. That's all you got to do, damn it. And if you do that, you're entered in a chance to win that. Rizzo, give me a weight on that one. We like to call it low 20s, mid 20s. What do you got on it tonight?
I'm going to have to go with a 2271, 22 pound, 71 ounce.
2271,
yeah.
And by
71 ounce.
Yes, 22 pounds, 71 ounce.
Right.
By the way, that's what Riz is going to weigh this coming weekend on the Delaware River. That's his bag. It's going to be a
71 ounce.
I think it can happen. Place is healthy.
78 ounces is what he's going to weigh.
I've done that.
I've done that too. Like and share the feed on Facebook. We're going to enter you in a chance to win this gift bag. It's awesome, believe me. you heard the double play of the sponsor intro before the show started, but we got a lot of great sponsors. Of course, Mystery Tackle Box supporting sponsor of the show, and we're going to open up a box in the third segment, Brian. It's going to be really good. Also tonight, if you were watching our Facebook Live, you might have saw it, but we're drinking a hodgepodge of different
words.
We're drinking a hodgepodge of different
descriptors,
founders tonight, Brian the Carpenter.
Okay.
And I look over here at Rizzo, and he's got the Dirty Bastard,
That's
which
right.
it's a good one.
It's a nod to our first guest.
It is a nod to our first guest.
That's right.
And I'm drinking Bottle Shop, and I love the Bottle Shop, a highball drifter right here.
Highball drifter.
Really good. You might see some other founders pop in tonight, too.
Ooh, yeah.
Also, you're going to probably see a little bit of an opening of that bottle right there, which is Tin Cup Whiskey.
Goddamn right.
It's going to happen before the night is out. Real quick, want to say, Pete, we miss you tonight. I hope you're watching. Pete's been running harder than anybody in the world. He's coming off a big Potomac River. Well, for Pete, he's been running harder than anybody in the world. So, all right. So, Pete.
No offense, Pete.
Yeah, we're thinking about you. And Dave Brodzik, a.k.a. Fathead, a.k.a. Worf, a.k.a. Stormtrooper.
He's on the New Jersey Turnpike right
now. Dude,
now.
he's working hard. He's driving trucks. Who knows what he's doing? Dave, we're thinking about you, too.
Fighting the forces of evil.
Fighting the forces of evil. We hope you're watching. We hope you're listening, Dave. We miss you on the show, for sure. Before we get started in the show, we want to always thank our military, active and veteran men and women. Thank you guys for what you do. Dude, the world gets crazier and crazier every freaking day. I'm not kidding you. Brian, we talked about this before. You don't watch the news anymore. You boycotted the news purposely because of how crazy shit's getting.
3, 4, 5 years ago.
5 years ago. That's crazy.
Whenever Ebola wiped out the planet.
Right. Ebola wiped out the planet.
Right,
you gave it up. The world's crazy. Want to thank our military. Want to thank our policemen, our firemen, our EMT doctors. Thank you guys for what you do. It is really, really a crazy world.
Yeah, they're the people. There are people. Those people.
There are people.
Yeah, there are people.
There are people. By the way, they are people. I drew at the Potomac River. I didn't get to talk much about this in the last Ike Live, and I got a little criticism, so I'll give you the quick update real quick. I fished the Potomac at the last Toyota Series. It was about a month ago, maybe about 3 weeks ago. And my first day partner was a police officer from Virginia.
Oh, nice.
And huge fan of the show, by the way.
Oh, cool.
And he went out of his way to say thank you to us for always acknowledging policemen and firemen, military, and EMT. So
how did he go out of his way to thank?
I mean,
you got a fruit basket. We didn't.
Right. I got a fruit basket, and I got a great partner that day.
Awesome, man.
I got a great partner that day.
Yeah.
I don't remember his name. I'm horrible with names, but
I know you are.
But great guy, great partner.
What part of Virginia?
I don't remember what part of Virginia it's from either. But we had a good day on the water.
Nice.
But I want to say that I meet a lot of people that are fans of the show, and they like that we acknowledge.
Yeah, well, that's all you, man. You started.
No,
that
it's
from day one
great.
of the show, Mike.
It's great. It's important.
I appreciate you doing that.
It's very important. Here's another shout out. Dude, was
your day 2 partner.
No, I don't want to. I don't even want to talk. I want this to be a positive show.
All right,
dude, who else besides Brian DeCarpenter and I watched the UFC fights last night? Rizzo.
I saw Jim's fight.
You saw Jim's fight.
I saw somebody go to sleep.
Dude.
It wasn't Jim.
Dude. Big, giant, huge shout out. And I hope he's watching.
Yes.
To our friend Jim Miller with a big knockout last night.
Dude. Gracious.
Dude, I said to Beck.
Cold turkey.
I watched it. There was Jim got a little stunned just for a quick second.
He got caught.
He recouped really good.
Yeah.
But then it was like his lefts were just on point, dude.
They were landing.
And he recognized that. And he took that to the bank,
Dude.
and it was an amazing left that put him down. And
Yeah.
It was great. What was the guy's name? Garcia.
Yeah.
Garcia.
Younger guy.
Younger guy. Yeah.
A lot. Very unpredictable.
Yeah.
A lot of power, but he leaves himself wide open.
Yeah.
And Jim, being a veteran, kind of
He hit it on the
saw
head
that
there.
moment.
Yeah,
I mean,
he did.
Rich, you saw that.
I saw the knockout. And it hit Jim being a veteran.
Yeah.
And you saw it that he got stunned in that fight.
Yeah.
He bounces back quick.
Yeah.
You know that dude's cardio has to be through the roof.
Oh, yeah.
Jim's is.
Yeah.
To be able to bounce back that quick.
Oh, he bounced back
and
quick. Yeah.
Knew that left was on.
Oh yeah. Took advantage of it, right?
Yep.
It's like patterning a bite
awesome.
in fishing, man. He
Yep.
knew it was going down.
Yep.
The other thing I want to say real quick about Jim is I stuck around last night. I had insomnia because I've been on the West Coast. So 3 hours, everything's 3 hours back, right? So our midnight was my 9 p.m. for almost 2 weeks. So I'm still messed up, right? I'm still like, I can't sleep till about midnight, 1 o'clock, whatever, blah, blah, blah. I watched the post-game show, and dude, the interviewers that interviewed Jim, you could tell were like very in awe of his records, of his being a statesman of the UFC. The other thing, dude, Jim is good on camera. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Absolutely. He speaks intelligently. Yep. Dude, they'd ask him questions. He'd respond. Like, I love that. I think it's great about Jim. We've had him here co-hosting our show, and
great dude.
Great dude.
Yeah.
I'm so happy to see him.
He is a great
man.
dude, and he's he's an outdoorsman.
Loves hunting, loves fishing.
Obviously, clearly, that's why we're connected with him, because he loves
Family
fishing.
Family guy.
Family guy.
Yeah.
And just to give you some statistics, Jim Miller is #1 all-time in UFC appearances with 38, #1 all-time going into.
Hell yeah.
He's tied for #2 all-time in UFC wins.
He's gone into that octagon and the door locked behind him 38 times.
38 freaking times. That's that's his 50th fight, but that's a 38th time in the UFC.
That's the highest level.
50th fight. 50th professional fight. That's crazy,
tied
man.
#3 all-time in finishes in the UFC.
Yeah.
3rd all-time in the UFC in finishes.
Yeah.
#3 all-time in submissions. #6 all-time in fight night bonuses, and he got a bonus last night, 50 G's,
50
baby.
grand.
Wow.
50 grand for that left. Come on.
Out.
Come on. Dude, do you think that now that I hear this, and this is a good time to bring this up, what about giving bonuses for the anglers? Because like look at Bassmasters.
They
like,
do. They give out big bass, like the Toyota.
No, bullshit. No.
Like
Like when Bassmasters, and I don't know if MLF does it because I don't watch it as much, but Bassmasters, Zona will point out, like the Mercury, whatever, blah blah blah, the power pole, blah blah blah, and it's this amazing catch or fish. Yeah, dude, bonus. Give them a bonus. Give them a monetary bonus for that amazing catch.
I think they probably could, honestly, because they take that footage of that catch, they roll it out on their social, they advertise with it, they tie a sponsor to it. The money's coming in.
Dude.
Come on, let's give it back to the guys.
Give it back to the guys. Come on, man. Come on. You know you're watching. Everybody at Bass, you know you watch every week. Don't hide. Don't hide behind your computer. I know you're watching right now. Give those guys some extra money, man. Come on. They're hustling. They're working hard. Also, Brian, little catch up. We had a amazing and hopefully I'm really hoping Beck will join us a little later in the show. Hopefully, the second or third segment. The Ike Foundation had a great kids event.
Did you say Yike?
The Ike Foundation had a great kids event in Vineland, New Jersey, working with the Vineland Police Department. What a great target, because I was still out at Lake Mead, but I got to see a lot of video and pictures, Brian. Yeah. They were the right kids. And when I say that, like, we want to target kids that might not normally fish, you know what I mean, themselves, right? So their parents don't hunt or fish, right? They're from different backgrounds. They don't own a fishing rod.
He didn't show up with chewing tobacco and a...
Right.
All right.
Right. These aren't dudes that are fish heads already that just want free tackle or whatever, right?
Right.
These were kids that legitimately have not experienced the sport.
Like casting for the first time.
Casting for the first time, fighting a fish for the first time, whether it's a bluegill or a catfish. I don't care,
Doesn't
right?
matter.
Dude, I saw a lot of that there. So shout out to the Vineland Police Department. Great Ike Foundation event. Yeah, shout out to Vineland Police Department. Great Ike Foundation event, getting some new kids fishing. So
Alpha Cats with the TIFF always deliver.
Yeah,
and they run a great event. And the great best part about the Ike Foundation is that it truly does make a difference.
It does.
And it can change a kid's life.
It
forever,
can. Yeah. And here's the thing, everybody can do it, right? Everybody can take a kid fishing for the first time. So if you're watching, please do that.
Before you,
Jake,
any entries into names for Jake?
Oh, Jake, yeah. Do we have anything
and
already?
You don't get the filter.
No, you can't
I'll
filter these.
I'll give you a couple.
Okay.
We got Shake and Jake.
That's okay.
Shake and Jake.
Shake and Jake.
We got Jake and Bake.
Jake and Bake.
And we're back to Jake from State Farm well after that.
Okay.
Shake
I
and
got-
Jake.
I like the Shake and Jake.
Shake and Jake.
Shake and Jake's kind of cool.
I got Double Take Jake and him too Jake.
Him too, Jake.
Bras.
Bingo.
Was that Braz? Oh man,
Damn right it was.
that's not bad. That's not bad. There's some good ones. All right, we're keeping that open. If you have a name for Jake, if you have something you want to think of, especially as the show goes
Don't
on,
have to rhyme.
doesn't have to rhyme. Doesn't have to do any of that.
None
but
of
let us know. Yeah, Brian.
Our beloved Eric the This reminds me of when we named Eric. One
Yeah.
of many times that we nicknamed Eric.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of nicknames for Eric.
Yeah, I got a. He FaceTimed me today.
Did he? That's awesome.
Yeah, he was in Wyoming.
It's out there with
Is
Seth,
that-
right?
Yeah,
What's he doing out there?
he's out there with
filming a
Seth.
duck hunt, I think.
Yeah, Seth and Matt and
Maddie Robinson.
Yeah.
Robertson.
yeah, and
That's cool.
their hunting set just said, "Come on,
Yeah.
come out here and film us hunt." And
That's awesome. Well,
Yeah.
I saw his Instagram story. I saw him with a dog,
yes,
and I was like, man, that's weird. Like, it's funny because I love dogs, and
Yep.
I saw Eric with this cute puppy he's fetching a stick, and I thought, man, I love Eric. Eric's such a good dude. He's got a great soul, but he can't take care of no dog. He can't take care of himself. I was thinking as I'm watching it, that poor damn puppy. If that's Eric's puppy, that poor damn dog's going to starve.
The both of them,
It's going to get lost.
yeah, they're in it together.
Okay.
They're in it together. I mean, I'm just saying, if that was the case,
Yeah.
they would be in it together.
In it together.
Every man
Okay.
for himself.
Oh. Oh, shout out to Eric. We miss you, Eric.
Yeah, we do.
We miss Eric big time. Let me see. I want to get Zell on here in a second, but I do want to throw
Yes.
one other thing out there because I have some big news that I you know how I like breaking stuff here. And I have some big news that I'd like to break
An
right
announcement?
here. I have an announcement.
Oh.
This wasn't preset or predetermined or anything. I just thought of it because there's something happening this coming week that is pushing us forward. And I'm very excited about it. Have a great relationship with AFCO. We've all worn AFCO products. They make a great piece of apparel. Loving the product. And we have some custom Ike AFCO apparel coming in 2022. So I'm very excited about that. Very excited.
Love it.
We're getting very, very close to figuring out specifics on launch date and all that stuff, but it's coming. Want to just give everybody that teaser, just sprinkle it out there, just give them a little.
Can we guess?
Can you give us a hint of like what it's going to be? Is it outerwear?
I'll give you a hint. It's a little bit of everything. I want it. They're different pieces.
Okay.
You know, so we're talking about everything from the bottom up. And I definitely,
Branded and all, right? With your
brand
logo?
it. It's
Yeah.
branded stuff. And
sheepskin?
here's the thing: no sheepskin in this
No?
one. No Sherpa. No sheepskin.
Okay.
But I wanted to give it a little more of let me think of the right word. So like a lot of the AFCO stuff has that almost like salt, like light salt water, like if you're like fishing backwater, like inshore saltwater feel.
Yeah.
A lot of AFCO stuff has that feel. I wanted to push it the other way and give it that like almost like street feel a little bit to it. You know what I mean? So just to change that vibe up a little bit.
I got you.
So I'm very excited about it. Can't wait for everyone to see it. I'm more excited about our next guest, Brian the Carpenter, than that even. So
Do you want to do a quick commercial break and come
we
back?
can do that. You want to do a commercial break? What are you thinking?
Yeah.
You want to do that? All right.
It'll be two shakes of
Okay.
a tail.
All right. Before we do that, real quick, if you're watching on Facebook, like and share the feed, man. Like and share the feed, man. And you're going to enter a chance to win that. Hang in there. What are we talking, Brian? 3, 4, 5 minutes, and we got Zell coming on.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Call it 3 or 4 minutes. Hang in there with us. When we come back, more Ike Live with the GOAT, Zell Rowland. That's right, Zell Rowland. Right now where we're standing, we're in Camden, New Jersey.
Yeah.
Philadelphia is right there. This is the concrete jungle. And, a lot of those kids, as they grow up, they don't fish. It's interesting because they're surrounded by water, the Delaware River, the Schuylkill, ponds, city park lakes, but they don't have the influence to cast, to fish, to have a rod and reel. And that became our focus, is to target kids in what we call non-traditional areas, urban areas, city centers where the population's high, and let these kids have the experience. It's amazing. I mean, some of the experiences we've had, whether it's Central Park in New York City, here in Camden, other parts of the country, even just casting,
Yeah.
It's unbelievable to see it, isn't it?
Yes.
It's unbelievable.
Yes.
And you know, you see these kids have this experience they've never had, and they light up, you know? The big thing, I think, for the Ike Foundation is we're not saying we want all these kids to become professional anglers.
Yeah.
Be great if some of them did, but we want them to have that fishing experience because it ties them to so many other positive things. The outdoors, nature, conservation, ecology, you know, all these amazing things in life that maybe they wouldn't have been exposed to any other way. We're trying to help with that. So it's important. It's important for us.
Yeah.
We're proud of it.
TH Marine has been producing top-of-the-line marine accessories to rig boats from transom to trolling motor for decades. From jack plates to fish care to LEDs, TH Marine has you covered. TH Marine, outfitting your boat from transom to trolling motor.
At Founders Brewing, we asked ourselves, what if we brewed a beer perfect for any occasion? A beer that makes a weekday feel more like the weekend, and the weekend feel more like an adventure. What if we brewed a beer that brought us together and allowed us to be ourselves? A beer that is just as much of a companion as it is a reward at the end of the journey. What if we explored the unknown together and found a new way to celebrate taste and flavor and life's simple pleasures? And what if we brewed a beer that could go where you go without slowing you down? Founders All Day IPA, low ABV and full flavor that goes where you go. Perfect for any occasion.
We're excited to announce our brand new partnership with an amazing company, Heshi Socks. That's spelt Heshi Socks. Go to heshysocks.com to check out my brand new Mike Iaconelli collection. That's right, I have my own custom socks in tournament colors. I promise you, you will never, I mean never, find a more comfortable sock. The great news, all my socks are under $10 a pair when you use our promo code IKE20. Go to heshysocks.com, use the promo code IKE20 to get the most comfortable socks in the world.
Folks at home, welcome back to a brand new Ike Live show. I hope you're having a wonderful Sunday. I know we are. We've got a great one for you tonight. Zell Rowland, true GOAT of the sport, great, one of the greatest of all times, joins us in just a minute here. Also in our next segment, we've got Roy Hawk, two-time winner of the U.S. Open out there at Lake Mead, and Roy's a great guy as well. Real quick, before we get Zell on, I mentioned this in the Facebook Live earlier, but I wanted to real quick show you that I do match the furniture tonight with this flannel. And that wasn't, I didn't prepare that. This wasn't on purpose, but I do blend in very naturally with this Bass Pro Shops couch in here, which is kind of cool. I don't know. It is kind of cool. And then also want to mention that Jake brought this up tonight. Jake, by the way, was the first one in studio tonight. So it's funny how it happens. Jake's here, then Riz, then Brian, and then about 10 of, was it the other way?
Yeah.
All right, whatever. But then
whatever,
about 10 of 8, I walk in. So
it was more like 7 of 8.
7 of 8. Okay. Yeah. All right. But anyway,
or 6.
Jake was here early, and I stuck my head in and talked to him, and I'm like, yeah, Zell's coming on. I cannot wait. Man, he's like the GOAT of the he's one of the GOATs of professional fishing. And, you know, then we got Roy Hawk on, and what did you say? You said we have Zake. There it is. Zake. Zake. What did you say? We have animals on tonight.
You got a goat and you got a hawk.
We have a goat and a hawk on tonight.
And a hawk.
A goat and a bird on tonight. So we have animals on
Good call,
tonight.
Zake.
Yeah. Zake is the first name. That was funny. I just wanted to bring that back up. But I am really, really excited. Brian, I mentioned to you this. Man,
I know. Me too.
This is like, it's
too.
almost surreal.
Yeah.
Because for me and you especially, because we're the oldest guys here in the room.
Old as hell.
We've been doing it for a long, long time.
That's right.
And we had heroes as kids.
Yes.
As young adults, right? Young men. And this guy falls right in that list of guys that we were like, like,
Dude, pre-show, I called Delfonso and put him on speakerphone.
Yeah.
Because Chris drew. So real quick, the year after you won on Norman.
Yep.
Right.
We'd be at 90. Yeah, we'd be at 94, 5, 96, right in that range.
I think you were
somewhere.
93.
93. So this would be 94.
This would have been 94.
Yeah.
Chris fished that Lake Norman Invitational.
It was a top
Pro-Am.
100.
Pro-Am.
Yep. Pro-Am. Yeah.
And one of the 4 pros Chris drew was
Zell. He drew out with Zell.
Oh, yeah. He's got some great Zell stories.
It's great. Yeah.
And Chris finished that event in second.
Almost won that boat. Yeah.
He threw one back that was a line burner.
Never throw them line burners away.
Let them grow in the live
but
well.
this is
right.
let them grow. But this is one that I'm so excited to have him on. I cannot tell you how excited I am to have Zell on. This is a long time in the making to get him on the show. So without further ado,
hit it.
The GOAT himself, Zell Rowland, on Ike Live tonight. How you doing, Zell?
I'm doing good, man. How are you?
Oh, it's so good to see you. It is so good to see you. I want to start this off right away with a story for you, and this puts in perspective of how.
Careful.
I know. This is like live, so we do have to be careful. It puts into perspective on how big of a moment this is for me personally, and I know for a lot of guys watching and listening tonight. But I was, in our teens, I would say 13 to 15, 16 years old, we loved to go to the sport shows around here. So we went to Bassarama, we'd go to the one in Richmond, and we'd go to the Bass universities back then. And Zell, you were a fixture at a lot of these seminars. And I can't remember, it might have been like the one in Richmond. I can't remember. But I remember watching one of your seminars and listening to your delivering the seminar. And after it was over, you would step to the side of the hog trough, the bass tank, and you would sign autographs. And so I was like nervous and intimidated, and I had like the program from the show or whatever, because I wanted an autograph, from you. And it was funny because, Zell, as nice as you are, I got to tell you that you were very intimidating. You were intimidating and exciting to me as a young man. I don't know, you were like the Marlboro Man. You know what I mean? You had this air of intimidation to you. But I remember standing in line, and I was so excited, and I got your autograph, and I almost didn't say anything because I was nervous. I was like clammy and nervous, and you signed it, and I didn't say anything. I was just clammed up. I didn't say hi. I was just kind of like speechless. But I remember on the drive back, looking at that autograph, and I said, he's got the nicest handwriting I've ever seen in my life. Did anyone ever tell you that before? You have beautiful handwriting, Zell.
Oh, man, all them years, all of us was at the Classic, and we all signed autographs. And 9 times out of 10, I'd get some woman go, boy, you can your name. I can read your name. No, it's a pleasure, man. It's you've been one of the upcoming guys in the sport all these years, and been extremely successful. And I'm glad to share this experience with you.
Well, this is great, and I also want to mention that when I was coming up, Zell, and I can vividly remember, being out there early in my career and staying at hotels where you were a couple rooms down, or we were at a set of cabins or whatever, and you were staying at one of the cabins. Dude, you always made me feel welcome, even early in my career, and I really appreciate that. That meant a lot to me. I felt like an outcast. I still do all these years later, but I really felt like an outcast early in my career. And you were always super nice and made me feel welcome. So thank you for doing that.
Well, I appreciate it. No, it's, we guys like myself, Denny Breyer, Nixon. I mean, you guys have been the future of the sport, and it is this part of what you do has really magnified the sport probably way more than what we magnified it back in those days.
Yeah. Yeah, it's funny because we talk, Riz, we've talked before. It's a lot of things are different in the sport, and a lot of things are the same. But the one thing I want to bring up is, Zell, we have young anglers all the time. They're listening, they're watching right now. We have high school anglers, we have college anglers, we have young adults listening and watching, and they're always contemplating how to do this for a living. I want to do this. This is my dream. And one of our things we always say is we're like, don't do it too early.
Right.
Take
That's
your
right.
time, right? Take your time. Go through the ranks. And as I say that, I do want to call something out real quick. And I know you've been called out in this before. Zell, you fished your first damn bass event at 13.
That's right.
You fished your first
awesome.
professional BASS event in 1970 at 13. Bass fishing was pretty much your one and only job. You just jumped right into it as a young man. Take me back to that. That had to be a magical time to be that young and be thrust into the sport like that.
Oh, I was no different than you coming up at a young age where you were so ate up with fishing.
Yeah.
At some point when you were growing up, you said, I'm going to do this. And, like when I was in junior high school, they would give out awards at the end of the year. And I was the kid that got the award for most likely reading Bassmaster magazine in class.
Hell yeah,
man. I was scheduled to fish all those events. And then that's when Ray Scott goes, oh, hold on a minute. We're going to have to put a stop to this quick. And that's when they put the age limit on it.
Yeah.
And I sort of carried a bitter taste in my mouth about it, even after I turned 18. So I waited till I was 19 to get back in it. And I still fished just as much.
Yeah.
But when I turned 19 and I graduated out of high school, my dad asked me what I was going to do. And I said, I'm going to go fishing.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I was able to be successful to some extent and make a living doing it.
That's amazing to me. First of all, one of the first amazing things that at 13, Brian the Carpenter, at 13, Zell created a rule in Bassmasters. That's awesome. Congratulations on that, because anybody that creates a rule in Bassmasters, I give you props, because you're doing something really right or something really wrong. And
But
I think
either way,
you create a rule.
You're doing something.
You're doing something, and I
That's
give you
right.
props for that. But I want to ask you this, Zell, at 13 or even at 19, when you jump back into it, then if you could put yourself back in that position, could you ever imagine back then that you would have went on to win, well over, millions of dollars in tournament winnings, the fame, the brand, the lures, the prestige? Could you even imagine that back then? Was that even a thought?
No, it really wasn't, Mike, because it's when I get in a boat and I get up on the deck of that boat, the rest of the world sort of goes away. And
Yeah.
I've watched films of you fishing, and you know what that feeling's like.
Yeah.
And 9 times out of 10, you know when you're going to win.
Yeah.
Before the tournament's ever over, I could ask you going into the second day, and you're going to look at me and say, you might as well pack your bags and go home. But it's just, I would have never thought I was in it to grow the sport.
Yeah.
And I have a deep passion for fishing, period. I don't care there's not too many fish in the ocean. I've caught black marlin, sailfish, and it was funny because when I was 3 years old, my father caught the world's record sailfish in Mazatlan, Mexico when I was 3 on 50-pound test line.
Wow.
He had my mother and my dad and my mother, he caught the men's world record. She had the women's world record for 30 years.
Power couple.
And it was an IGFA world record. And I don't care what it is. If it bites, I'm ready to swing.
Yeah. Yeah, you're a fish head. I totally can relate to that. Being a fish head, just wanting to pull back on something. Zell, I want to tell you the other thing, when I look back on, I don't want to call it being a fanboy, because I was. A lot of us were fanboy. Brian the Carpenter was. Dave Brodzik, who's another one of our guests here that's not here tonight. We were all super fans of yours when we were young. But I was also like a student of watching what you did. And one of the things that you did really well, and I want to hear about this because it's so interesting to me, is that you were one of the first anglers to really create a brand. There were a lot of great anglers back then, but you had a brand. You had, your signature became a brand. You started to become known as the Topwater guy, right? The Pop R was your thing, and you built this brand that, it went above and beyond even your fishing. And I remember watching that and saying, man, he's doing this right. Zell is doing this right. This is how you grow a fan base, right? You need a brand. You need something for fans to attach to. Take me back. Was that something that was that on purpose, or did it just happen like that?
Well, it sort of happened, and and the way it happened was I took a bait that I know you got one of those.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Maybe not just like that one, but you got one. But I took a bait, and I'm like you are when you're in your shop, you like creating things.
Yeah.
And I knew this bait caught a lot of fish as it was.
Yeah.
But I wanted to know, could it catch more?
Yeah.
And when I started sanding on the popper, modifying it a little bit, I got what I call 2 for 1. I got a bait that would chug like an old Lucky 13. And then I got a bait that if I fished it with my rod tip in the air, the sound that the bait made is real close to how the sound a shad makes when he flicks the surface of the water.
Yeah.
And so while I'm fishing the bait, I could change the sound and the action all at the same time. And I just got a real passion for, it's like Larry Nixon. Every time I'd catch fish, it wouldn't make any difference if I caught them flipping. Larry would go, I know you caught them on a popper. but you get that tattooed on your forehead.
Yeah. Yeah. It was awesome. And Brian the Carpenter, I would go as far as to say mesmerizing when we would watch you back then. And going back into time, it was like TNN, right? Bassmasters was on TNN. And, I remember the episodes where you would be fishing that bait, and it was very mesmerizing to watch it. And we wanted to get good at it. You know what I mean? We watched it and we said, oh shit, we got to learn how to fish that bait. So I can't imagine how many Pop R's were sold because of you, Zell. But I also want to say this, how many Pop R's were ruined because of you? Because I as a kid tried to modify it, and they just turned to shit. I couldn't. I destroyed them. I absolutely destroyed them. But that mecca that you created was incredible. You know, the buzz of, and there's not a more exciting way to catch a fish, Riz, than up on top.
Maybe
you know?
maybe a swim bait, but yeah.
Maybe a swim bait, but I
Other
would
than that, it's Topwater.
I would argue Topwater
yes.
is number one.
If you were leading the first day of a tournament and you were to walk down the dock and look on the deck of other guys' boats, by day 2, would there magically be a bunch of poppers tied on after going down the dock? Or-
Great question.
You know, I came through a lock one time. We were fishing a tournament, and Larry Nixon was in the lock, and Larry pulled up beside me, and he looked over in the boat, and he seen that I had a popper tied on the end of my rod, and he reached over and cut it off.
Yes.
He goes, you know, and back in them days, they ain't gonna give it back. He goes, I got one now. I said, well, that's okay. You can have that one. And the guy with me in the boat goes, you know, he got the one you didn't catch one on. I said, that's right.
You let him walk away with the dud of the bunch. Let me remind everybody, if you're watching tonight, you're watching a brand new Ike Live.
Gave him the decoy.
Yeah, you gave him the decoy. We have the goat of fishing on with us tonight.
The goat of all fishing.
Of all fishing. We've got Zell Rowland. If you've got a question for Zell, please hit us up. We've got Jake from State Farm taking questions tonight.
Also known as Jawbone Jake.
And Zake.
Zake.
Also known as Zake.
Full Metal Jake.
Yeah.
And we also have Nake.
And we have Nake. Okay, we got a lot of nicknames already.
So we're starting, but that's what we're working with so far.
We got some. And I'm actually, I real quick while we're here, I've got one over here on Facebook, Zell, that's coming in. This one's from Steve Pellegrino.
Oh.
And Steve wants to know, the question, I'm going to paraphrase it. The question is, Zell, after all these years, are you mad at the guys who made the Rio Rico, Splash It, and other poppers that copied your early pop bars? That's a good question. That's legitimate.
That's a good question. No, I know who made the Rico. Actually, the Rico and the that bait I think came from Don Ivino, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, or the Splash It. One of those two
Splash
did.
It.
Yeah.
The Splash It came from Don, and the Rico is sort of a knockoff.
Irish
of
Don.
The Splash It.
Yeah.
And what they did was Don asked, I couldn't manufacture baits because I was already with the Rebel brand.
Yeah.
And I gave him a bait, and he sanded the whole face of it off because he didn't know how to sand it. And that's what he came up with, was a flat faced. What he was real good at was the finish that they put on that bait.
Yeah.
I mean, the finishes were phenomenal.
So what I'm hearing is that he didn't do that intentionally to make the face of that bait flat.
He messed it up.
That was a mess up, and it ended up just kind of working.
He sort of messed it up, but I know Don very well, and I told Don he'd asked me a lot of questions, and I fished out there I fished Lake Mead. I fished the U.S. Open for years, and it was funny. I've been out there 5 times. I finished 7th 3 out of the 5 times, and won one of the top 100s out there. I think that was the year Van Dam was the Angler of the Year, and but Don, he says, man, I'm going to make this bait. And I said, well, I don't care what you do.
Yeah.
He was very successful with it for a long, long time.
Yeah. That's crazy. It's gotta, Zell, I gotta imagine that looking back at the mass of people now that fish this lure, that fish it in your style, all the lures that have been created since then, including I'm holding up even some of these newer ones that you've created. It's got to feel good, right? I've done a few baits in my career, and it's always nice when you see people using it with success.
Yep.
How does that make you feel? Because that's such a big category, and there's so many people that have had success and caught their personal best or have won tournaments using this bait essentially because of what you did. That's got to feel good.
Well, it does make me feel real good, and it makes me feel like I've I've given something back to the sport of
Yeah.
fishing, and you know, I've been thinking very seriously about getting with a company and have them make the baits that nobody's ever seen yet. And I mean, I've got some top order baits that I promise you nobody's ever seen them. And I'd talked to Berkeley several years back, and I just couldn't do it because I'm like you are. You sign a deal with a company, you're going to be as loyal to that company as you can.
Yeah.
And when COVID-19 hit, it changed the whole sport of fishing.
Yeah.
And a lot of the sponsorship dollars went away immediately. And so I've sort of been waiting until there's a turn somewhere, and then I'll find me a manufacturer and come out with a whole line of baits.
Yeah.
How much of so you're clearly like you're a tackle modifier, you're a bait creator. You like creating baits that are going to help you catch more fish. How much of that has contributed to your fishing success over the years? Like just constantly thinking about how this bait is going to act differently. Like, would you say that was something that was super important for your career, just being a tackle modifier, or it's just something you like to do?
Well, when it comes to topwater baits, it's pretty critical because, and Mike could tell you this as well. If I gave Mike the same bait I was catching them on, I know how talented he is when he gets in a boat, and he's a hell of a fisherman, and it would not take Mike 2 minutes to figure it out. And when he figured this out, if there was 10 of us that had the same bait, then it amounts to who catches the biggest one. That's all it amounts to.
Yeah.
But when you have a bait, when Mike has a bait that you don't have and I don't have, and he can make it work like it's supposed to work, he'll tell you he'll wear you out.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, anytime I get to, I like to look at a fishing lure, and my words that come to me is, how can I make it better than what you have and catch more fish on an artificial bait?
Yeah.
And it's Mike's got a bunch of ideas in his head. I know him. And he knows how to make things work. And there's certain baits that I have defaults with. I mean, I'm not that big of a deep water crankbait guy like David Fritz was back in the day. And but when it comes to a topwater bait, I would rather catch fish on a topwater bait than any other bait.
Yeah, I agree. I did monitor another question too, and Zell, this one is coming from our very own Pete Glusick, and Pete's a big fan of yours as well. Pete's question basically is, and you know, Pete always likes to get more into the technique stuff. So here it goes. What's one thing that guys do wrong with a pop R, and what's one thing that they have to do right to make that pop R work?
You know, I think one of the biggest flaws in a popping type bait like the pop R is a lot of fishermen will like to chug it and stop it.
Yeah.
And especially, you know how you've made a cast before, Mike, and you fire the bait out there and you're working it and a fish rolls underneath it.
Yeah.
I think the biggest mistake a lot of anglers make is they stop the bait in the motion of it was trying to get away.
Right.
And when an angler does that, it allows that fish an extra 3 or 4 seconds to take a good look at it.
Yeah.
And a lot of times they miss the fish. The best thing in my opinion, in working a lot of topwater baits, is to be able to create that cadence with that rod and reel.
Right.
And if you're really good at that, you'll be very successful at fishing topwater baits.
Gotcha. Yeah. It's interesting, Riz, because Zell said cadence, and we've heard that. It's funny, Zell, because as you talked about it, we've heard that from like guys that are really good jerkbait fishermen, like Van Dam. We've heard about that cadence and that rhythm and how important it is. So it's interesting to hear that it's just as important up top as it
Especially
is
on a popping style.
right as it is on the bottom. Yeah, yeah, very interesting. I do want to put you on the spot though, Zell, and all these questions coming in about top water and poppers, and we knew that was going to happen, right? That's what you're known for. But I do want to put you on the spot, and I want to say this, and Brian the Carpenter might get mad at me and say I'm wrong, but I'm going to say it. You are one hell of a jig fisherman as well. And I would honestly would put you up there with the very best jig fishermen alive. Andy Morgan, maybe in the modern era, Denny and Tommy in the the older times. But dude, you're good with a jig. I mean, I know you're known for the popper, but you're good with a jig. Do you like jig fishing as much as the topwater, or is it the same? Or
You
No,
just take it right out
I
of the
like to
plastic.
watch that. I like to watch that line jump.
Heck yeah.
yeah.
But the one thing I get to say that a lot of people will never get to say is, in my career of fishing, growing up fishing at a younger age, I have been in the boat with about every one of the greatest anglers that there's been.
Yeah.
The only guy I ain't been in the boat with yet is you.
Well, we're gonna fix that sooner or later.
You know, let me. I'm gonna give you a quick story about Kevin Van Dam.
Okay.
When I met Kevin, this is something I'll never forget as long as I live. I think it was one of his first tournaments. He came to Lake Lanier, and there was me and Rick Klein and Larry Nixon, and Guido Hibden was standing there. And Kevin walked up. He wasn't shy. He walked up and he looked at Guido Hibden. And he said, "Man, you're one of the greatest sight fishermen that's ever been." He said, "I just want to shake your hand." He shakes Guido's hand. He looks at Larry Nixon. He said, "Man, you're the all-time money leader. I just want to shake your hand." He sticks his hand out, and as he's shaking his hand, he looks at Larry and says, "I just want you to meet the next all-time money winner." And I said, "Dang." And he looks at Rick Klein, and he said, "Man, you've won back-to-back classics, or you've won 3 Bassmasters Classics. I just want to shake your hand, and I want you to know I'm going to be the guy that wins 4.
Wow. Wow.
I didn't want to shake his hand after this. But I got to fish with Kevin one time. We were on the Harris chain, and this goes way, way back when Mike Folkstad, I think it was like a mega, well, I don't think it was a mega, super top 150 or something.
Yeah.
That tournament was won in 3 days with 15 pounds.
Wow.
That was the total weight for 3 days. And I drew Kevin on the first day. And that was back when pros fished with pros.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Kevin gets in the boat, or he walks over, and we're having a chat about who's done what in practice. And I said, "Kevin, it really sucks." And, I said, "I got one spot. I think we can catch 1 or 2 pretty quick. Might be able to catch a few more, but I wouldn't count on it." He said, "Man, I ain't had a bite in 3 days."
Wow.
And he said, I'll just ride with you. I said, well, I'll ride in your boat. It ain't exciting to me. He goes, oh, no, I want to ride with you. I said, that's fine. He said, what are we going to catch them on? I said, tie you some kind of, back in those days, it was the rattle trap.
Yeah.
I said, tie you one of them on. And so we pull up on this spot. It's about 50 yards long. He knows nothing about what's underwater. And we're going down this stretch of bank. I catch one. He catches another one. He catches a second one. I catch a second one. He catches a third one. This all took place in about 30 minutes. I get to the end of that stretch of bank, and I said, well, man, I said, I think we burned it up. I said, what do you want to do? He said, I think we ought to fish it again. And he said, every one of them fish happened to be on a little point of hydrilla that was underwater. You couldn't see it, but he knew that after one pass of fishing that, feeling the grass with that bait. And that was really very impressive for me to know that he could figure that out.
Wow.
In 15 minutes.
Yeah, that's deep, man. That's really deep, because that is what you're talking about, Zell, is having an understanding of your bait and what's in the water, right? And the feel for what's down there. That is a lost art today, right? It really is. In the day of side imaging and forward-facing imaging and this imaging and that imaging and $8 billion electronics, guys have forgot how to,
Can we agree that fishing with live scope is the same as dating on Tinder?
It is the same as dating on Tinder. I'll agree to that.
Rich, thoughts?
Rich?
They both can be wildly effective if used correctly.
If used correctly, they could, but Zell, what I'm saying is, that's a great story, because, I think that's still a great quality to have as a fisherman, is the ability to feel and understand the bottom with just your bait. And that's a great story. Where do you lie on this argument, Zell, of technology? Because I love Randy. We've had Randy Blockett on a little while ago, and I love Randy. Randy's another hero of ours, great guy, but he's very anti-technology and all this modern era. He wants to go back. Where do you lie on all this modern technology stuff?
Well, I look at the younger generation, and these kids, they study them depth finders just like I used to read a book.
Yeah.
And they go out on the water and they spend a lot of time. Now, when it comes to structure fishing, I've caught fish back in the day. Back then we had flashers.
It's awesome.
And I could tell the difference between shad and bass by looking at that flasher. Now you have a picture that shows it. And we've got GPS. We never had GPS. So this is a reason why Randy's probably got an issue.
Yeah.
If I was to take your GPS out of the picture where you could not have waypoints, then I would say that would be a much better deal.
Yeah.
Because what that waypoint's allowing you to do is, if you were to receive information, you type that waypoint in there and it takes you right to the meat.
Right to the juice. Yeah.
Right to the juice, right off the bat.
Yeah.
But this is what I'm going to say about that. If me and you go fishing, Mike, and we don't have GPS, you're going to tell me, man, I got a drop off out here and it's got some fish on it. We're going to go out there, and more than likely we're going to pull up on your spot, fish a few minutes, and then you're going to hit the juice somewhere. And when you do, I'm going to look around to my left, my right, in front of me, and I'm gonna get me my own GPS coordinates is right there. And this is what I mean by that. If you take me out and you catch 5 fish that weigh 25 or 28 or 30 pounds, do you really think that I ain't gonna go back and find that?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I don't know where I stand on it. Technology is what it is, but I do think there's something to being able to find fish without it as well.
Yep.
Let me remind everybody, you're watching a brand new Ike Live. Of course, we've got the one and only Zell Rowland on. It's awesome to have you on the show, Zell. If you got any questions or comments, please hit us up. We're going to pass them through. Jake, let's get caught up. Zake, let's get caught up a little bit. I know you've got some questions coming through for Zell. What do you got? What do you got from our viewers?
We got a couple things going on. Eric Toth was on the All-Star Rods pro staff with Zell. Said he had the best smile and was one of the nicer pros out of all the ones he's ever met.
Wow.
Which says a lot.
Wow. I'd agree with that. Zell, you do have a good smile. I'd agree with that.
And then we got a question coming from David Miller, and he wants to know about the Zell Rowland spook and any modifications. We kind of talked about the popper a little bit, but
yeah.
How about the spook, doing any modifications to that?
Oh, okay. That's a good question. Stick bait, Zell? Any modifications on a walking bait?
Well, there's lots of things we did to it. You know, you have fished one a lot as well, Mike.
Yeah.
And, you know, back in the old days, all we had was a 2-hook Zera spook.
Yeah.
And when a lot of times when a fish would blow on that bait, you couldn't hook him.
Yeah.
Because if he hit the bait dead center, 9 times out of 10, if you hooked him, you barely had him hooked and he was going to get off. And so I took a Zera spook and I downsized the hooks and readjusted the weight a little bit. And you won't miss one on it.
Right.
If the fish blows it, you're going to have him hooked somewhere.
Yeah.
If not with all 3 hooks.
Yeah.
But the only modifications I've really done other than the hook and the weight was a lot of guys like them to rattle. Some guys don't like them to rattle. So if I want the bait to rattle, I'll drill a small hole in the top of the head and drop a few lead BBs in there and put some silicone on it or something. The other thing, back in the old days, anytime we found something fishing, it was by accident a lot of times. Like we'd get a bait from a manufacturer and this bait didn't sound like the other 3 we had. And as time progresses, companies change the material in a bait, which changes the whole bait.
Yeah.
It could take a great bait and make it worse, and it could take a worse bait and make it better.
Right. Yeah. That's interesting to me. I want to put you on the spot, though, with that question. Zell, were you actually the first one to design this, I guess what we would call the super spook, the 3-hook spook? Were you the first one to do that?
Yes.
Wow.
Whoa.
Wow.
You know what's
Didn't know
funny?
that.
I am a huge fan of yours, and I fucking never knew that
no,
all
I didn't
these
know that
years.
either.
How did that one slip by me?
I think we need to do a drink in Zell's honor.
I think we need a shot
Social.
based on this right here.
Hold
Yeah,
on,
let me
Zell.
raise my beer at least. We'll do a tin cup here in a second. Dude, that's
Hell yeah.
amazing. How did I not
freaking
know
awesome.
that, Riz?
Dude.
How did I not know that one?
I'll
know him as a
tell
pop guy.
you why you probably don't know that is when I was with Predco Outdoor Brands, they wanted to put my name on a bait, which I figured back in those days, the baits that they'd put my name on would give me more exposure. So they came back to me and we were sitting in a meeting and they asked about 5 of us what kind of baits they needed. Well, a lot of anglers, and you know this as well as I do, they go, "Oh man, we need a pop R," or "Oh, we need a David Fritz crankbait,"
Yeah.
or "We need this."
Yeah.
I want to give anglers something that they ain't ever had before.
Yeah.
So I sit there and I told them, I said, "Look, put 3 hooks on this bait." And I said, you'll make it better than what it is.
Yeah.
And so I said, if you want to do that, we'll do that, but you're going to take my name off of the popper. I'm not going to let you just put my name on 5 different baits.
Yeah.
So we came out with the 3 hook Zara spook. Hedden decided how many colors you want. I said, well, I only need 2. I said, give me a baby bass looking one and one that looks like a shad. And
Baby bass.
and those were the only 2 that we came out with a signature series. And some bright guy in the office decides we need to put his name back on the popper. We're going to discontinue the 3 hook Zara spook. And we signed Jimmy Houston. We're going to make a super spook and give him 3 hooks.
Oh, man.
That's why you see a super spook used to have Jimmy's name.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm.
How about that? That's probably why I had confusion there.
Well, let me get Jimmy on.
Yeah, let's get Jimmy on the
Andy's
other
dog.
line. Jake, do you have any more? Because I did have one that came through as well on mine.
I got one more.
Go ahead.
One
Yeah.
more. What did Ike do? This question for Zell.
Oh, okay.
What did Ike do to gain the respect of the Southern anglers from that first time meeting him as the crazy guy, and then gaining the respect of the Texas anglers and the other Southern pros?
Wow, that's a trick. That's a trick question because everybody hated me except Zell. Zell was the only one that liked me, so that's a trick question.
You know, I know a little of Mike's background growing up and going to college. You do have a degree in marketing, right?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
And you know what people don't understand is that's the difference between Mike and Zell. I didn't go to college. I should have, but I didn't. Mike went to college in case he didn't make it in fishing, he could do something else. But because he got that degree in marketing, he knew how to sell himself. And the one thing that I will say about Mike is I don't care who you are. If Mike needs to get that camera I'm looking at on this screen pointed right at him and take the other guy out, he can do it.
He's gonna
Bad
do
or
it.
ugly.
You know, and Mike has been a very successful angler his entire career. And I mean, winning the Bassmasters Classic, that was a dream I would have loved to have had. And Angler of the Year and just all the titles that he's accomplished. Only a small handful of anglers in this world's ever been able to do that. And when you're able to do things like that, you would be amazed at the amount of respect and honor that comes with that. And Mike deserves every bit of it.
Wow.
Even though he's a damn Yankee.
Even though I'm a damn Yankee. Yeah. I'm a Yankee. Well, I appreciate that, Zell. That means a lot.
It should.
It does really mean a lot, especially come from you. It's crazy. This is so surreal. This whole night is surreal for me, by the way. So this one's coming from Ken Duke. And, Zell, you know Ken. Ken is probably Riz, is he the single human being that knows more about bass fishing history than anybody?
he
He's like
does.
the bass fishing encyclopedia.
He's the
It's his brain.
encyclopedia. Right.
You know?
He's got a giant brain. We love Ken. Ken knows everything.
It's a supercomputer.
He's a supercomputer. But Zell's Ken's watching and has a question for you, Zell. And this is I'm so glad he asked it because honestly, I was nervous to ask this question because I've heard very.
So we're going to blame Ken for
I'm going to blame. I'm glad Ken sent this because I was debating whether I wanted to ask this or not. I didn't know if I should because I don't know. I've heard so many different variations of the story over the years. It's almost become myth. You know what I
Okay,
mean? You
yeah,
know, like when a story
Yeah.
starts rolling, you don't know what the hell's true and what's false
Right.
after, 5, 10, 20, 50. You don't know what's right anymore.
I'm excited
But
to hear this.
Ken's question, Ken's question is basically, he says, Zell, heard you talking about the Lake Mead win earlier in the conversation. Please tell us the story about the new tow vehicle and losing a boat over a cliff at Lake Mead.
Oh
Now,
my God.
now, Zell, again, I have heard this story, and I know this might be hard to talk about, even all these years later. But first of all, is this story even true? Because I've heard so many different versions of this over the years.
Oh
Is
yeah,
this-
it's true.
It is.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, go ahead.
You know, everybody. It's like when I was growing up, and I was fishing with all these guys. Everybody would pull little pranks with everybody.
Oh,
and
no.
Oh, God.
I had so much stuff that was just bad that happened to me, not just every once in a while, but it was like every other tournament that the guys gave me the nickname of Master of Disaster.
Wow.
Okay.
You sound like
And,
Brian the Carpenter a little bit. This is
That's
similar.
right.
Zell, we
Yeah.
got to hang out, man. In front
Yeah.
of Voltron.
It's very similar. Yeah.
But when we were at Lake Mead, I think I was in like second or third place going into the last day. And we all stayed at one of the big hotels in downtown Las Vegas. Everybody did. All the anglers stayed at the same facility. I hooked onto my boat. It's like 4 a.m. My partner gets in. I had a custom van because we used to sleep in them things when we were on the way to a tournament. We wouldn't get no hotel. We'd just sleep in the van.
Yes.
The
And,
van's the bomb.
Yeah.
It.
He'll buy it.
And we're on our way out to the lake, and we get almost to the marina. We got about a half a mile. We got to make a bend in the road and go up a big hill and down to the boat ramp. And I go around that bend, and I never knew, but the boat came. I guess the boat came off somewhere, and I started up the hill, and I looked over at the guy riding with me. I said, "Man," I said, "this van pulls this boat really good, doesn't it?"
Oh, my God.
He-
There's nothing
he-
back there.
He goes, "Yes, sir." He says, "It really pulls it good." I said, "Yes, pulling it like it ain't even back there." I looked in my rear view mirror or in my side mirror, and I didn't see the lights on the fenders of the trailer. And I stopped. And when I stopped, I look in my mirror, and all I see around that bend is a bunch of dust, and it's like somebody threw a hand grenade back there. So
Oh my God.
all the other guys stopped on the highway. I backed up, and my trailer, the boat had gone off the trailer hit the side of a cliff, and the boat came off the trailer and went about 30 feet down a ravine. And the guy with me goes, "Man," he said, "what are we gonna do now?" And I said, "Well, don't worry about it." I said, "Hop out, get all our rods and stuff out, and I'm going back to Vegas, and I'll be back in a little while." So I turn the van around, I drive back to Las Vegas, and I'm telling myself, "Man, I got a chance to win." Back then, it was like $50,000.
Yeah.
That's still a lot
I
of
got a
money.
chance to win 50 grand. So whose ever boat I see in that parking lot means they rode with somebody else. I'm just going to hook on to the first one I see.
Yes.
So I went back. The first boat I saw belonged to Lonnie Stanley.
Wow.
Lonnie,
And
you're
I
it.
hooked on to Lonnie's boat and bought it back. And I made it. I was maybe 15 or 20 minutes late. And the guy says, "What are you going to do about your boat and trailer?" I said, "Oh man, don't worry about that. Somebody will get that out later."
Oh, my God.
Wow.
Rich, you got some
Oh man,
tall,
I've had so
tall
much
shoes to
stuff
fill there.
happen.
Yeah.
Wow. That is an unbelievable story. I wouldn't have the wherewithal to be able to recoup from that moment. And you just did it like that. And
You know,
Go on.
yeah, that's
Las Vegas is the only place I've ever gone And if I win 10,000, it'll cost me 11 before I leave there.
Zell, I think we're related.
Oh my gosh. What a story. Unbelievable. So it is true. It is true. I always wondered after all these years whether that story was true.
What happened to the boat in the trailer, the one that you dumped off the side of the cliff? Did you ever recover it?
Oh yeah, when I got back, a wrecker service had pulled it out, and I had a welder go out there and sort of cut the trailer up a little and get it straight. He cut the trailer up, got me a tongue on it. I loaded the boat on it. And back then, Forrest Wood, I ran a Ranger boat, and Forrest Wood knew about it. And he called me on while I was at the hotel, and because we didn't have cell phones then, he called me at the hotel and he said, Zell, man, on your way home, just come on up here to Flippin and drop that boat off. And you can take my personal boat. That way you have one.
Wow.
How about it?
They totaled the boat, built me a new one, and had it ready to go in about 30 days.
Wow.
I mean, that was pretty impressive.
My, have times changed.
Dude, times have changed. Wow, times have changed. You can't right now.
You get the insurance guy to look at it.
You can't. Right, you can't get the insurance guy to look at it. You can't even get a boat to be built right now in 30 months, let alone 30 days.
Rich, can I borrow your boat like that?
That's crazy.
It's in the dry. It's in the
garage. Wow, what an amazing story. That's almost just unbelievable. By the way,
I love the old stories.
Yeah, you mentioned Lonnie Stanley. Rest in peace, Lonnie. Another great icon of the sport.
Yep.
Unbelievable. Wow. Ken Duke always pulls through for us with some great questions.
Ken's amazing.
Yeah,
you got to watch Ken.
Why? What do you got, Zell? What do you got?
Yeah, we never get dirt on Ken. Do you have any dirt on Ken? Because it's always Ken putting dirt on other people.
You know, I didn't go. This is the very first year that I did not go to ICAST. And
me too.
With all the stuff going on, I said, and this was the first Bassmasters Classic I never attended.
Oh, man.
Me too.
I sort of stepped aside and I said, I'm going to wait and see what the outcome is. But every year I've gone to ICAST last 4 or 5 years, his wife she is just a precious lady. Very, very sweet lady.
Yeah.
And I joke with Ken all the time. I said, man, that's my second girlfriend right there. But Ken is, man, let me tell you how well he's taken care of. I've never seen a woman, when Ken gets ready to go to work in the morning, she takes a roller and rolls his shirt off, make sure he doesn't have any lint or anything on it. And I'm watching her. He fixes him breakfast. Ken over married by a mile.
Wow. Wow.
That's awesome.
Wow. How about that?
Congratulations, Ken.
Ken's a lucky guy.
That's great.
Why we're talking about some of this stuff, Zell, this is one in my notes that I did want to talk about. And it relates to a tournament that's local for a lot of us. And you got to remember, for us growing up here, Rizzo, Jake, Brian, all of us, we're in a part of the world where it's not what you would call the hotbed, right, of bass fishing, right?
A lot of pizza.
Not
too many bass.
Yeah, we do food good. We do, we do stuff right, but bass fishing is not great up here. So, we had, the Pittsburgh tournaments when the Pittsburgh Classic was there. That was pretty close. We had the Delaware River tournament come, which was a 1 in a million thing that'll never happen again. But
that was a good. I liked that play.
It was a good tournament.
You won that event.
I won that event. That's home water for a lot of us. But when the Classic came to the Upper Chesapeake Bay, that was a big moment for a lot of us. And I vividly remember, the Classic coming to the Baltimore area and them fishing what we called the Bay. And it was a big moment because it was like, oh, God, back then the fishery was challenging. It's
Yeah.
not the bay it is now, but it was challenging. But it was home water, and we were so excited
It's
that
relatable.
yeah, I can remember like it was yesterday. God, how many years ago it was. But we were so excited because we were going to show the world, get a glimpse, let the world get a glimpse that there was fishing in this part of the world, in the Northeast. And, man, what a tournament that was, Zell. And you know, the ups and downs of tournament fishing. And that's another one where it's almost become legend or myth over the years of what happened on that final day. And I wanted you to just even briefly talk about it, because I've heard stories like scuba divers came in, the scuba divers were hired by one of the other competitors. I've heard so many bizarre stories over the years. But take us back to that, because you were catching fish that nobody could catch in the bay back then.
I remember it well.
Yeah, Zell, those kind of weights, the weights that you were catching were unheard of. This was pre-grass. You know, there was a very little amount of grass back then. It was, man, God, back then if you would catch 8 or 10 pounds, it was a big bag, and you were it was like you were on a different fishery. And then walk us through that tournament, because it was a big moment for a lot of us here in the Northeast.
You know, I had a good. I went over there and I spent about 8 days during before our off limits period. And I wanted to look at a lot of it.
Yeah.
And it seemed like the creek that we had put in there, I could catch 50 a day throwing a popper in there, but I could not catch any really decent 3 to 5 pound fish.
Right, the quality. Yeah.
The quality. So I made a run to the Susquehanna, which from there, I mean, it's 45 minutes.
Yeah.
And I saw some riprap rock, and I said, that looks real good. And I eased over and I made a cast, and I caught a 5, and then I caught a 4. And then I caught another one about 5, and I said, dang.
Ooh.
And I fished a lot of the Susquehanna area, and then fished a lot of it on the pockets and little creeks that were up at that end of the lake. And I caught a lot of decent fish, a lot of good fish.
Yeah.
But it seemed like when I went into one of them pockets, when I got a bite, it'd be a quality fish, but I wouldn't get a lot of bites like I did on that riprap rock.
Yeah.
So we come back 3 or 4 weeks later, we start the tournament. The first day I bust them real good, and I caught every one of them off that riprap rock in about 30 minutes. And I said, well, it's all tidal water, so you got to catch the tide right. The second day, I caught them again, but not quite as good because I didn't catch the tide as good. But going into the last day, I have a very good chance to win if I just catch a limit and catch a 5 pounder.
Yeah.
I made that long run. This stretch of riprap rock wasn't maybe 40 yards long, maybe.
Yeah.
And I'll never forget it. When I pulled up there was a boat anchored on the riprap with a diver in the water.
Oh my God.
And there was an oversized woman in that boat feeding that guy air hose. And he's literally swimming the distance of the riprap up and down. And I'm going, geez, this is just terrific.
Oh my God.
I done run an hour to see this. And I knew I wasn't gonna, now was the people hired to be there? Were they paid to be there? You never know those things.
Right.
So I ran around, sort of in a panic.
Yeah.
And I catch a little smallmouth up in the Susquehanna, and I said, man, I keep waiting. I'd go by there, they'd still be there. Well, we had to weigh in back in at 2:45, and it's like 1 o'clock. And I go by there, they're still there. I said, geez, I'd made such a long run to catch them. And exactly about, I don't know, I'm going to say 1:15, 1:20, they were gone. And I pulled up there, and about the third cast I make, I catch it 1/5.
Oh, wow.
And I said, man, I'm looking at my watch. It's all a time thing. I said, you know what? We got 45 minutes. We got about 10 more minutes to fish. So I fished I had about 9 minutes to spare if I make the run back, and I can run wide open. So I decide I'm going to leave. I run, because I had an area there near takeoff. I could catch a limit in a few minutes if they were biting.
Yeah.
So I pull up there, I make the long run back, and as I'm pulling into the pocket, Jimmy Houston's sitting there, reeling one in.
Oh, my God.
And I'm wanting to just cry.
Yeah.
And I throw the trolling motor down. I'm fishing towards Jimmy. I catch one, I lose one, I catch another one, I lose one, I catch one. Now all I need is one more.
Yeah.
And I look at my watch, and I got a minute. And I got about 2 minutes. And the check-in boat is sitting out there behind me. So Jimmy goes, how many do you got? I said, I got 6. I got one good one and 5 little ones. I said, one more. And I turned the boat around because I got to get towards that check-in boat. And Jimmy yells at me, and he says, see that pocket up in front of you? He said, I lost about a 3 or 4 pounder there this morning. I make that cast that you'd make on your final cast as long as you can make it. When the bait hit the water, the fish blew up on it. And I set the hook, and I was fishing with Steve Price, and I said, I got him. And I'm reeling this fish to the boat. I'm literally on my knees with my rod down in the water, hoping he don't jump.
Yeah.
And all I can hear Jimmy say is, don't let him get off.
Oh, my God.
And I'm reeling him to the
Jim.
boat. And the fish gets about 6-7 feet away, and he comes up. And when he jumps, I don't see the bait. I know it's in his throat. And I said, man, I said it again. I said, I got him. And when all of a sudden the bait floated up. Wow. Oh, man, you could have taken all the gas out of my car, and I would have walked 50 miles and felt better.
Oh,
but
my God.
when that fish come off, I knew right then that was my chance.
Yeah.
And I'm watching the weigh in, and I'll never forget it as long as I live. Rick Klein walked up beside me. He put his arm around me, and he says, he said, you're one of the best that there's ever going to be. And he said, you'll get another chance one day. And, oh, man, it was it'd be like you, Mike, knowing that if this fish measures, like with Jim Bitter.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. He measures the fish on the deck, and it goes out.
Yeah.
It cost him winning.
Yeah.
And he'll never forget that. And I'll never forget.
Yeah.
I'll never forget that scuba diver sitting on that rock.
Yeah,
I'm like angry for you, man.
I know. And here's the thing: we've all had that happen, right? We've all had that moment happen. It's just varying degrees of tournaments.
Yeah.
Like I had a big one throw a big one on Three Rivers in Pittsburgh at the FLW Championship.
Oof.
Big one being a 13-incher.
Right.
And I only weighed 4 that day, and it cost me that tournament. I lost by 3 ounces to Hackney. So we've all had that moment. But for it to go down like that with this, like how freaking, you know what I mean? Like just crazy. On a positive note, Zell, I want to tell you this, though. That area you fished, to this day, is known as Zell's Marina. That marina there. There's been a lot of money won on that riprap and in that marina over the years. That's known as Zell's
Not
Marina.
a single scuba diver.
Not a single scuba diver since.
Never once.
Never saw him. But the other thing I want to say is that you really, that tournament, you influenced so many people watching, and especially for us up here in the Northeast. Yeah. And you aspired us to keep continuing in the sport. So thank you for that tournament. Thank you for your career. Holy shit, man! You've affected so many people in a positive way. It's hard to even talk about it because a lot of us are doing what we're doing. I'm in the sport that I love because of watching guys like you over the years, and I can't thank you enough for it, man.
Oh man, it's been an honor to be able to watch guys like yourself come into the sport and be so successful. It makes me feel good that you did good. And you've taken and I'm saying this true from the heart. There's not that many guys out there today that could even help you carry a tackle box because of what you've done in this sport and all the good you've given it. And I'm dying to know one thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
I want to know what you're going to fish next.
Oh! Darn it! I flipped the script. Why does this always happen?
Get him, Zell.
Now, let me ask you something. Did you qualified to fish the Toyota Series? As a matter of fact, I got 2 questions for you.
Okay.
And you qualified to fish the Elites, which, if I know you, I'm going to say you'll probably go fish the Elites just to do it one more time because I would love that opportunity.
Yeah.
And I miss the people.
Yeah.
Because that's where I grew up, was over there. And,
yeah.
Somebody asked me, but you'll probably make my mind up what I decide to fish in 2022.
Oh.
Because I got a question and I want to know what your true thought is.
Yeah.
Because we've all faced this before.
Yeah.
But now it's in your generation. They have gone up. Major League Fishing's going up on the entry fees.
Yeah.
To $6,000.
What?
Per tournament.
Wow.
And the payout is not going to change or has not changed to this point.
Right.
How do you feel about that?
Whew. Yeah. They're all great questions, and I would echo what you said, which is there's something about being involved in an organization where it's what you knew, right? It's what you knew growing up. It's why you got involved in the sport, the people, right? And I'd be lying if I told you, Zell, that bass, there's not something special at bass there, right?
There is.
There is, right? There's something special. It built my career. I watched your career there. I wanted to fish professionally because of watching that organization and watching you guys as a kid. So there's something special there, and you can't deny that, right? Not taking anything away from MLF or the different formats, but I have a connection to bass. I know you do. I think a lot of people do. And that's a real connection, And then the second part of that question is, man, I feel like Rizzo. I feel like we talk about it every show. And every time I talk about it, it makes me more and more, I don't want to say angry, but more and more anxious about it, which is at some point, damn it, the anglers have to have some kind of voice in their fate and destiny. And and it stinks that all these years later, right, Zell, you've been in it since 1970. All these years later, we still don't have a say. Why isn't why are the entry fees going up and the payouts aren't?
So
why?
The no entry fee league went from 0 to 6,000 in 4 years?
Yes, it did.
That's not.
That's bad.
That's not gradual.
That's
at all.
bad.
That's not okay.
That's really bad.
That's bait and switch as a mother.
It's pretty well. Things have happened too. COVID's happened. I mean, I don't want to.
Yeah, all right.
But still,
maybe.
You know what I mean, Zell? I wish at some point, like in my lifetime, I want to see the anglers be able to get some kind of power and say over their own destiny and fate.
You know, one of my biggest goals growing up, you don't think of it when you're younger, but as you get older, and you know, I get asked all the time, when are you going to retire? I said, is there an age for that? I mean, I still have the same passion Mike has for it, okay? So if you're a professional angler and that's all you've ever done, there is no such thing as retirement.
Yeah.
There'll become a day where I sit there and I say, you know, it's time for me. Now, I'm not going to fish as many.
Yeah.
When COVID hit, I mean, sponsorship money it was going out the window faster than you could try to get something.
Yeah.
I lost a lot of sponsorship dollars. So I sit there and I said, what am I going to do? And my little brother, my baby brother, I think he prints $1 million bills.
That's a nice thing to have.
He owns one of the world's largest disaster cleanup companies. So I'd worked for him. I worked for him, probably 10 years ago. And I said, nah, I'm going to end up killing you before I leave here. When COVID hit, they happened to have a hurricane that went into Lake Charles, Louisiana. And I spent 7 months living in hotels over there, cleaning up the most disastrous stuff you could ever imagine. And I get a passion in the state of Louisiana. That's a sportsman's paradise of the world. If you live there, you either fish or hunt, or you don't live there.
Yeah.
And I caught so many redfish, I got tired of snatching them. I mean, every day at work, the boys would go, where are you going? I said, well, y'all eating lunch? I'm going to go over here and catch fish. But I manage anywhere from 10 to 30 big rig trucks on a daily basis. And just helping people clean up whatever it is they got left.
Yeah.
And somebody, you know, it's like I told my little brother, I said, man, I look at the amount of money, but somebody has to clean it up.
Right.
And I'll do the things that you're not supposed to do if I know it helps this guy that fishes every day. And but it's a lot of fun. I hang out with a lot of guys that hunt and fish, and you know, they get a kick out of it, because I took my boat up to Kentucky and spent 3 months in Kentucky, up there where Bill Taylor lives. And I had my boat with me, and one of the guys says, man, you gonna take us fishing? I said, you don't want to go fishing with me. He goes, oh yeah. He said, I want to whip on you good. I said, really? I said, I'll give you that chance. And I took him fishing, and after I caught about 15 or 20, and he ain't caught one yet, he looked at me about 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and he goes, "You know what?" I said, "What?" He says, "There's no way I'd do what you've done for a living."
It's a reality check.
That's a reality check. No, I've got such a passion to compete and be with guys like Mike. I don't want to quit yet.
Yeah.
I just don't. I don't have it in me to say I'm not going to do it.
Yeah. Well, I can tell you, Zell, as a fan of yours for a lot of years, I hope you don't. I hope you compete till you cannot compete anymore. I would love to see you continue in the quest to keep winning. I'm a competitor. Whether I'm fishing a winter league around the house with 10 boats, 10 John boats, or I'm fishing a big tournament. I fished a U.S. Open last week. You know, when you're a competitor, you fish to win. You fish to be the best on that day and to beat the fish. And I know that's why you do it. And I wish you the best. I want to keep see you doing it.
Matter of fact, how was the U.S. Open?
Tricky. Tricky. That was the first time I've ever been there. And it was 100 feet low. And 100 feet low. 100 feet low. 100 feet low.
That's 10 stories.
Big ramps.
That's pretty low. It was a unique fishery, and it was a grinder, and so I actually the scenery was beautiful. I couldn't concentrate because it was so gorgeous, the mountains and everything, but it was a grinder tournament. When I look at it, it took about 11 and a half pounds a day to win that tournament. That's what Roy won with, about 11 and a half pounds a day. That is extremely difficult.
Yeah.
I caught 9.50 and 7.88, so 16-something pounds, and I came in 24th place out of 200 boats. So very difficult tournament, but but I like it. You know what I mean? Like very statistically, I like it, and I want to go back again.
Wait, what was it again?
Sadistically.
I may fish it next year. I miss going out there for that event.
You should come back out, Zell, especially because you've won there.
Statistically speaking.
Right, statistically speaking.
I knew it was 100 feet low or close to it. That's why I asked you how it fished. And I saw where Klein had gone out there. I think Rick was out there too, wasn't he?
Rick was there. Rick had a really good second day. I think Rick caught almost 10 pounds the second day, which was awesome. But the interesting thing was you can't throw at anything. There's not a piece of brush in the water. There's not a tree, not a limb, not a stick. Like, it's an interesting fishery when you're
statistically
speaking, you're not throwing at anything.
Right.
It's open water.
I knew they put smallmouth in there.
Yeah, smallmouth have changed it too. They've kind of changed the tide of species there.
They should do a miscellaneous.
They should do a miscellaneous. I would have won with striper.
Really?
Miscellaneous. Hell yeah.
Bonus miscellaneous.
Hell yeah. I had about 20 pounds of stripers the second day. Hell yeah.
Those are fun to catch.
They are fun. Wish they would have counted in the event. Zell, I'm serious. I'm sitting here and I'm still miffed that I got the pleasure and the honor to have you on tonight. Like this seriously, like I'm looking at Brian. He's got a smile on his face because this is not even real to us. To have you on here to tell the stories, to give us the inspiration still all these years later. I can't thank you enough for coming on the show tonight, Zell. It's just unreal for me.
Well, Mike, one of these days I'm gonna get in the boat with you.
I'd like that.
So please
I'd like that a lot. I would really like that. That would be a dream come true for me. I hope that happens.
That's the content the fishing world really needs.
That's what we really need. You want to talk about views?
Zell. Let's go.
Let's go.
So we have a trip that we need to make happen.
Okay.
And Louisiana is one of the options.
I think we.
So maybe you could tie that
this
together.
is a double deal here.
Yeah.
This is a double deal.
Yeah.
All right. Zell, we're going to talk off camera here a little bit. We're gonna send some text messages.
Yeah.
We have some ideas here on how we can make this
Yeah,
happen.
we're all about to be 30 years
Shoot
old.
them at me and we'll do it, buddy.
That's awesome. Zell, thank you for coming on the show tonight.
Zell, baby.
Thank you so much, Mike, and I look forward to seeing you soon because like I said earlier in the show, I miss seeing a lot of you guys, and you're one of them.
Yes, sir. I miss seeing you too. Zell Rowland,
Zell,
everybody.
That was awesome.
Yes. Be good, Zell. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Man, unreal.
That's
Isn't that
so
great?
freaking cool.
Isn't that great? Now, Jake, I want to put you on the spot. I know we talked earlier, like Zell is a little before your time.
Yes. Yep.
But you have anglers like this. You mentioned Edwin. You mentioned a couple guys that, fill that void for when you were that age coming up, and you watch these guys, and you're like, holy shit. That was Zell for a lot of people in their 40s and 50s. A lot of people
awesome.
our age.
Yeah.
And
I could tell through the stories and the accolades that he holds
it's unbelievable.
that he's one of the best.
Yeah, and
The way you look at, Brian the Carpenter, it's how we look at Zell.
right,
won last week.
right.
You-
Brian the
you
Carpenter
won
on
the
Sunset
Yeah,
is the
yeah.
same, right?
Same thing.
I didn't press Zell enough about it though, the jig thing, and I mentioned it, and then we got talking about something else. But dude, half his wins are with a black and blue jig.
Yeah.
That's not a joke, dude. Lake Mead, he won on a purple and brown jig, but he won on a jig. But Gunnersville,
How about it?
there's another major win.
You're on a tough body of
Dude,
water.
he was one of the early guys to fish a half-ounce black and blue with a Sapphire trailer, like early, like before Sapphire was a thing.
Yeah.
Sapphire. Hold on, let me put that on the list.
Put that on the list. And Brian the Carpenter, you're gonna like this one. When Zell was with Pradco, Zell's jig of choice was the old Riverside.
Was it?
Stone jig?
Stone jig, the old original.
No, yeah, the Riverside.
The
jig.
Riverside jig, which was the basis for the Stone jig all those years later. That was Zell's jig.
Damn, why didn't we talk about the Riverside?
I
jig?
know. Well, we had so much. Dude, it's 10 o'clock. We had so much on the list.
I know.
But he was, I would venture to say he's a better jig fisherman than he is a topwater fisherman. That's not a joke.
How dare you?
I would say it.
Wow.
Ask him.
He's into it because he said I like to see that line jump.
Oh yeah, he's a
So
flipper, man.
yeah.
He's a flipper for sure. But that was unbelievable, man. If you're watching tonight, dude, I'm still I'm shook up a little bit because that was one of those interviews that's really groundbreaking. He is the goat of one of the goats of bass fishing. Really changed the sport, topwater fishing for sure. Hope you enjoyed that one. But here's the good news, Brian. We're gonna take a little break, right, Jake?
Yep.
We're gonna take a little break. When we come back, dude, we got another one that's just as good.
Yeah.
More of a modern day goat, and he's not really a goat. He's more of a hawk. He's more of a bird.
He's more of a bird of prey.
Birds of prey.
Bird of prey. But Roy Hawk joining us in the next segment, and it's going to be just as good. I want you to hang in there with us. When we come back, more Ike Live.
4.5-inch drop shot worm.
Man, that shit.
Bama bug. Finesse jig, PB&J. Give me something hard. Hey, KVD here. Now, I didn't always know this much about fishing. 4-aught EWG worm hook. In fact, there was a time when I couldn't tell the difference between a jerkbait and a stickbait. But then I signed up for Mystery Tackle Box, the original monthly tackle subscription. And now I know more about fishing than I do about calculus.
And he knows a lot about calculus.
Plus, I get amazing extras like free fishing magazines. October 2016. Featured article, 4 places to throw a frog. Exclusive decals. Zombie bass. And how-to videos for all the great baits I receive. How to tune a crankbait. Is that underwater footage I smell?
I got goosebumps.
So if you're looking to develop enhanced fishing abilities like me, or you just like getting new tackle every month, go to mysterytacklebox.com and get your box today. Ooh, live minnows. Is it lunchtime already? Nature's candy.
Look at this stuff. That's one of the keys, this scent right here, right? It's not liquid. It's almost like a paste. And when you put that on that hard bait, this is on a Rapala X-Wrap, it just sort of coats it. And I love it because it stays on there. You know, I've used scents in the past where you put that scent on
2 or 3 casts later, it's gone. It's gone. You don't have it on there. This lasts 20, 30, 40 casts. Dude, the thing I love about this stuff, watch. I want you to watch this as Brian puts this on. Look at the material, right? You've got, we're using shad today, so it's got natural bits of shad in there. It's got enzymes, aminos.
It's that sticky icky.
It's that sticky.
You know, if you know, you know.
Yeah.
Dude, no jig, nothing. Just liquid mayhem on a bare hook. Liquid mayhem.
The bottle of Liquid Mayhem.
You know?
You take pride in your boat, so it deserves the best protection possible. Our durable woven fabric prevents ripping and provides UV protection, and our tape seams provide protection against the elements. The heavy-duty shock cord hem and strap and buckle system provide a tight and secure fit. Our top-of-the-line boat covers come with a ventilation system to keep your boat free from mold buildup. Empire Covers, protecting what you love.
This is your tackle. Not that kind of tackle. You use it to catch this, or this, or this. You also use this and that and these. This is your environment. So is this. You love it, live for it, but it will turn this into that. This is the Flambeau Z-Rust Max Tough Tainer series. These are fully infused with exclusive Z-Rust VCI anti-corrosion technology. This is a U.S. naval battleship. The same Z-Rust technology used here has been used on those to protect advanced weapon systems from corrosion in conditions like these. For the fish, it's invisible, odorless, tasteless. And for you, it's FDA-safe anti-rust protection for a minimum of 5 years. This is the next level of tackle management, not that kind of management. This is the Flambeau legacy of tackle systems. What's your tackle worth?
It's more than who you are. It's who you're with. And it's more than what you do. It's where you do it. Tin Cup Mountain Whiskey.
Cha 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 cha.
4.5.
Cha 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 cha. Everybody, cha cha cha. All right.
Dude, the NPFL guys should roll that out for the first tournament of the year.
Yeah.
Have the guys walk out to that song.
To little John.
And
Walk
you
out
get
to
the
little
credit
John.
for it, Mike.
I know. Should walk out to it. Want to welcome everybody back to a brand new Ike Live on this glorious Sunday. I hope you're having a good one. We are. Riz, you just said this is unreal, right? And we're not even halfway through the show yet.
Nope.
This is great.
Nope.
We've got a good one for you tonight, man. If you're listening, we just had Zell Rowland on. He is a GOAT of the sport. Definitely one of the Topwater masters. And, Brian, we got a modern GOAT coming on next in just a little bit. Roy Hawk, 2-time U.S. Open champion.
2-time.
Not one. You know how hard it is to win that, John? Dude, you know how hard it is to win that, John?
Dude, I can't win a local.
I can't win a local tournament. Unbelievable. Roy Hawk joining us in just a second.
We're gonna find out.
Yeah, I cannot wait to talk to him about not just what went down there, Brian, but a lot of other stuff. We got a lot of other stuff to talk to Roy about. It's going to be great.
That's right.
Let me remind you, Rizzo, what's the deal with this giant freaking bag here?
I think it's getting heavier.
It's getting heavy. It was 22.78. Now it's like 23.
Yeah.
What's the deal with this thing? What do people need to do here?
Guys, all you got to do if you watch it tonight's show on Facebook, simply like and share the feed. You're going to get entered in to win our prestigious Ike Live gift bag. That thing's loaded up with all the awesome sponsors that we work with.
This, that, and the
it can
third.
be yours. Yeah, just like and share tonight's show. Why wouldn't you? It's been a great show.
Yeah, like and share the feed on Facebook. That's all you got to do.
All this could be yours.
All this could be yours. Brian the Carpenter, a lot of cool facts that came out of that last conversation.
Yes.
Zell was the originator of the Super Spook. Never knew that one.
That's right.
That was a great one.
Yeah.
He would be great on BU Live. You want to keep in touch with Zell. I think that'd be a good BU
I
Live
would like
guest
to have
too.
him on a show again.
I could see him breaking it down
Maybe
too.
Pete will make that one.
Yeah.
shout out to Pete, Sleepy Pete.
Shout out to Sleepy Pete. Yeah.
He's resting up.
Pete's favorite sleep. Post-spawn Pete's favorite sleep.
Pre-Goby Pete.
Pre-Groby Pete's posted up right now on the pillow. You know, trying to get a little rest.
He'll get to his favorite Wawa like 11 a.m. tomorrow because he's sleeping in. He's going to get there really late. I hope you're having a great Sunday night. We got a guest coming up, Brian, that is really, he's a great dude, but he's a hell of a fisherman. You want the proof to that? 2-time win on one of the most challenging fisheries, I would say. I fished a lot of really tough ones. Delaware River, Pittsburgh, Ohio River. Put all those in a list. Rainbow, Parvin, Delaware.
Real quick before we bring them on, because I kind of want to get some context of like, what Lake Mead is like. It was 100 feet low.
100 feet low.
You're casting.
They got 100 feet to give.
Yeah.
What the fuck are you fishing?
So 100 feet low, but the interesting thing, like when I got there and I stayed
crystal clear, right?
Crystal clear in a majority of the lake. And when I got there, I saw people looking around like weirded out, you know, guys, because I stayed at the marina on houseboat. A lot of other fishermen looking around like, oh, this sucks. This is fucking horrible. This is terrible. Look. But I didn't know any better.
Right.
To me, besides the big giant dry spot, you know, because you can see the watermark on the cliff, right? Besides knowing that at one time water was there, I didn't know any better.
Right.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
Fresh.
What do I know? I don't know any better.
No history.
So, but there is submergent grass everywhere, and that's new.
Really?
That's new. And it's not, we'll ask Roy, it's not hydrilla. It looks like hydrilla, but it's not hydrilla. But a spiny grass.
Chronic?
Chronic.
California
Cali
chronic.
chronic. Anywhere where the bank is flatter, it grew. The entire lake.
Okay.
So, you know, when I get there, my first thought is, you know, I've never been here. I got 4 days.
Right.
So what I thought was going to be a strength might have been a weak point, which is I tried to look at the whole lake in 4 days. In hindsight, I regret that a little bit, right? I probably should have maybe focused, but I didn't know any better. So I wanted to see what was where, how it was laid out.
Where the nudie coves were.
Where the nudie coves were, you know. I wanted to see how it was laid out. But for the most part, dude, you were fishing stuff like rock change, you know, like where it was gravel and you all of a sudden it would
go to chunk
or,
rock
or it would go from bluff to flatter rock, or you were fishing that kind of stuff, and then it was like running a pattern, right? Are they on points? Are they in pockets?
Was it patternable?
Very, very patternable.
No shit. Okay.
But the trickiest thing for me, and this is again, I cannot wait to get Roy on to talk to him about it. The trickiest thing for me is they were very bait oriented still, right?
Okay.
They were almost like wolves roaming with bait. When they get like that, it's like, how do you follow them?
Yeah.
And it was like every minute of every day it changed because the fish were roaming with the bait.
Yeah.
It's a very difficult thing to fish. But anyway.
Yeah.
Let's get the champ on. I don't know crap. That was my first time there. We're about to find out how it really went down.
Learn today.
I am so excited to have him on. Brian, is this the first time Roy's been on the show officially?
This is the first time
Roy
has been on.
Right. Right.
This is second Hawk.
Right. Second Hawk. We're gonna
First one was Tony.
We're gonna bust his balls about that in a little bit too. First time officially on Ike Live, 2-time U.S. Open champion Roy Hawk joining us on the show tonight. Roy, where's Roy? I thought you said Roy's on. Where is he? What? Oh, there he goes.
Hello?
Is that him?
This the Mr. Mike and Ellie show?
Roy, what's up, man?
Hey, this thing's giant, bro.
Look how big that thing is.
Let me get it back here.
Dude, look at it. It's like
dude,
it's like the Stanley Cup.
I know, it's giant. I stood my grandson up next to it the other day, and he was taller than it, just
Dude.
by an inch, you know?
What
It's
a
crazy.
What a great trophy. What a great trophy. A good trophy for a great tournament, for a great win. First thing, Roy, congratulations, dude. Jesus.
Thank you.
That
Thank
was
you, thank you.
insane. It was insane. I almost
You know where one of these would look good?
Where's that?
Right behind your head.
I
right
know.
Up there.
I know. Well, here's the thing. So you guys out west that have fished it for years, right? You know, like you knew the deal. You're like the biggest event, one of the biggest events in the West. This is a marquee event. This is a career-defining event. You knew that already. But, you know, I didn't know. Like, I knew how important the tournament was because I've been a fan of the sport. I've read about it for years from afar. But until I got there and participated in it and then failed, right? Like, the failure is a big part of it. Like, I am jonesing to get back there. And I totally get it now. You know what I mean? Like, it's hard to say because we get a lot of people watching Riz right now from the East Coast.
Yep.
Some of them don't even know what the U.S.
Yep.
Open is,
Yeah,
right?
I know the tournament.
You
I know
knew the
I know
tournament.
the concept, but
Right.
I've been to the Classic to work the Classic.
Right.
I've been to Elite Series events.
Right.
But the Western Bass Open, it's like, what is it really?
What is it really?
You know?
And I can tell you, if you're listening and watching right now, I can tell you that this is the kind of tournament that I know Rick Clunn said this before in interviews, but you have to win this one to make your career. And I feel like that now, Roy. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like I've left it, and now, like, I gotta win before I'm done. Like, that's honestly my mindset right now. That is.
You will never stop chasing it. That's for sure.
Yeah.
It is. It's one of the pinnacles for sure, especially out west.
Yeah. I know you've done 1,000 interviews already in the week since you've won, but how does it feel to win again? How does it feel to win? You know what? Brian the Carpenter just put me on the spot.
I did.
We're toasting you before we even get into this. before we even get into these crappy questions.
Further.
Yeah. Before we get into my crappy notes here, Roy, congrats. To win it once is impossible. To win it twice is ridiculously impossible. Congratulations. We're going to toast some tin cup to you. You're the champ, Roy. Congrats.
Cheers. Thank you.
Oh, boy, that's good. Oh, I just got warm all of a sudden.
Get you tuned up.
Wow. I just had a wave of warmth.
I'm ready to get canceled.
Traveled over me.
Let's go.
Man, that was so that felt so good. I actually lost my train of thought.
Yes.
I don't know how that happens. I want to get back to the tournament. How does it feel? Because I know what it feels like to win an event, but I feel like this one's got to be extra special because it's like, you know, to win a second time is almost like it wasn't an accident, right? It's almost like, look, I belong here. I work hard. You know, it's got to feel good, man. It's got to feel good. I still see you smiling. It's got to feel good.
Oh yeah, it's this one was a little bit sweeter, just because I don't know. For one, it's number two, and then I don't know. There was just something about the approach I had for this specific one that was totally different than any approach I've ever done on Lake Mead, as far as I can remember, and especially for any U.S. Open. And it took such a, I don't know. When I was done, I was completely spent.
Yeah.
You know, when I got home and woke up the next day, I had no idea where I even was. You know what I mean? It was.
You were wiped.
I was completely. Yeah, I was wiped, dude.
Yeah.
I put every bit of it out there I possibly could, mainly mentally, not so much physically in this one. Compared to the years past, it was a physical toll.
Yeah.
You know, riding waves and trying to outcast everybody, and it's physically demanding. But this particular one, it was more just mentally demanding for me personally.
Explain that to people, because I think that's a big one. Like, I'm looking at Riz right now, and Riz is shaking his head because he's a fish head. He's a tournament guy.
Yeah.
And if you're a hardcore tournament guy, you understand that mental fatigue, right? You understand that. But we got a lot of people watching and listening right now that aren't hardcore tournament guys. Explain that. Why was it such a mental challenge?
Your mind is just clicking so hard. And for me personally, you know, I have a inner side that wants to go run around and chase fish. You know what I mean? I mean, I've done very well at that lake, you know, running patterns and doing all that. And I had to just mentally focus on fishing individual rocks. You know what I'm saying? Like lining up perfect casts and, you know, that type of thing. And just keeping so focused and keeping my inner self, my inner lion from going running around the lake.
Yeah,
you know,
like I did.
Well, it works very well there. I mean, that's how I won in the past. You know what I mean? And that's how I've done good in the past.
Yeah.
And so it was very demanding and very. You just had to. Every cast was so important. I mean, any given cast that went wrong could have cost me the tournament. It was such a fine line for what I was doing.
Right. There's a lot of people listening to this right now, and they're like, you know, they're thinking, la, 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 tough tournament. We fish tough tournaments too. But but Mead is a challenge. I mean, 200 boats on a place that gets beat up for 4 days, that changes, that has the wind blows 10, and there's 6-footers uncontrollably bouncing off walls out there. Like, there's so many variables. talk a little bit about that. Talk about what makes Mead more of a beast than any other tough fishery out there.
Oh, it absolutely is. I mean, the wind is a big key factor that tears that place up and tears up boats and breaks people's hearts. I mean, I broke engines off there, and I've not made weigh-ins with winning bags. I mean, all kinds of stuff. And then just we used to fish it, like September, August, or even July at times, and it is a scorcher.
Yeah.
I mean, I think one U.S. Open, the first day we put 8 people in the hospital.
Holy
you know what I mean?
Shit.
Just it is a brutal lifestyle out there.
Yeah, that's crazy. The mindset that you had was a winning mindset, and I do want to get into that, and I want to get into that for our viewers and listeners, and I want to get it into it for me personally, because it's such a cool thing to watch someone do that flawlessly. Brian the Carpenter, go ahead and bust my balls for a second. I can't slow down. I can't slow down.
Nope.
Talk about it real quick. I want you to put me on the spot. I can't do what Roy did in that tournament.
When Mike Power pulls down, the poles come back up before the cast comes out. Not one cast.
Right. Yeah. I can't do it.
That's not really the point.
That's right. That's not the point. But I want you to get into it a little bit to this point, and this is so interesting. Listen to this one, Riz. So Roy, I stayed at the houseboats at the marina there, and there were, I don't know, 50 other fishermen there, from the AAA guys to the pros, that all stayed there. And after your win, we all kind of were just hanging that night and the next morning, and you can hear people talking, and everyone said your uncanny ability to fish to win, to swing, right? It's like the Babe Ruth of fishing, right? Because it's like you're not afraid to lose, right? You're not afraid to miss. And you fished like that. That is such a dude. That
plays in a tournament that's tight.
That's
that's
hard.
Yes, that's what I want to know about.
Yeah.
That's what is
that's
so
wild.
curious to me, because my mindset was, you can't win like that. You gotta run. You gotta keep moving. But dude, you were focused. You fished rocks. Talk about that mindset, because I can't even wrap my hands around it right now.
That mindset's what kills me on the Bass Pro Tour.
Right.
Where you can't go 10 minutes without getting bit, otherwise you're going to fall behind.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, but it's kind of the roots I grew up in a way. Usually I'm a lot more active. Like where you were saying, usually if your power poles come down before the cast is ended, they're already coming back up.
Yeah.
And that's my normal approach for Lake Mead in general. I mean, it's covering a lot of ground, picking up a topwater, and I'll fish, 40 miles, of water, throughout the day, back and forth. So that's usually how I approach it. But this particular one, I just had an overwhelming feeling to focus in on one area, get very intimate with that one area, figure out exact single casts to make, and then mentally telling myself that it's going to be all right to do that, you know, and keeping myself calm was a lot of work and a challenge for me, for sure.
Yeah.
And, you go 2 hours without a single bite, and to stay there and stay focused and keep making that same cast or stay in that same area. I mean, I know the lake super good, and I know where to go get bites, and just to not go, pack it up and run away just because I haven't caught something in 2 hours, to just stay there. It was a milestone to me personally to be able to do that.
Yeah.
And really, I mean, I just had a strong conviction coming into the tournament. I mean, I wouldn't even allow myself to go anywhere else and practice.
Right.
And I haven't been there. I went there one time in the spring and fished a team tournament, but other than that, I hadn't been to the lake or anything.
Yeah.
But I just had an overwhelming sense to stay there, figure it out, work on just specific casts, like to line up with and to make, that would produce a bigger fish, and it was crazy. My friends and stuff were like, dude, aren't you going to go practice somewhere else? You know what I mean? And I just kept making the same run basically for 3.5 days.
Well, that bigger fish was the difference. We're looking at it right here. You had one close to 5.
Yeah.
Yeah. Each day I caught, the first day I caught 2 that were around 3 pounds. And then the second day I caught 2 over 3 as well. and then we had
Difference
mix
makers.
of just small little keepers in there.
I see a 487. No,
Yeah, that ended up being the single biggest fish of the tournament. It made all the difference.
that
Wow.
made a yeah.
So
Dude, let me tell you real quick. Let me step in and tell you, like a 3-pounder on Lake Mead would be like I would say it's like a 6-pounder anywhere
Yeah.
else. I mean, that's how important it is. I had they this is how tough it is. They pay 5 big fish spots each day.
Yeah.
On the first day, I weighed a 288 smallmouth, and I got 5th big fish on the first day. So that's how tough it is.
Yeah.
It's not easy.
Why are they so small?
Well, I don't think they're all small. I think there's giants there that are roaming and swimming, and they're out with the bait. But here's what I want to get back. Before we get to that, I want to get back to this. What made you, Roy, what gave you that conviction to stay in that spot? So that's the thing. As you were talking, my mind, like I'm thinking of, okay, I'm practicing, and something would have to happen to give me the conviction to stay and to focus.
And was this like the first time that you've had this conviction?
I mean, I know from prior tournaments you like the lower basin. I know you like the lower basin, but the lower basin's a big animal. But you had a tighter conviction than that. What gave you that conviction?
It's hard to say for sure. Last year I finished second in that area. So, I mean, that probably helped. I had a little bone to pick.
Yeah.
I knew the fish lived there, which, Vegas Wash in general has some bigger fish, but it can be brutal. It can be really good, and it can be really, really tough.
It's a fertile area.
And,
any creek that has shit flowing in the back of it is a good creek.
Yeah.
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 Yes.
But yeah, I don't know. It's hard to say exactly. I believe God just put it on my heart, really, more than anything.
Yeah.
That's what I should do. And I just kind of lived in that the whole time and never really wavered from it. Hi, Becky.
Becky waited for the best guest tonight to sit down.
Hey, I was wondering where she was.
Yeah, she was waiting for you, Roy. She wasn't interested in Zell. She was like, Zell, Topwater, big deal.
Oh, whatever.
Big pop R, jig fishing, who cares? No big deal.
Man, y'all talking fishing?
No, we're talking a little fishing.
This is Ike Live.
I know it's Ike Live, but this is important
We don't
stuff.
talk fishing.
No, we are. We got to talk a little fishing.
Why?
Why? He just won a second U.S. Open.
I know. That is amazing. Good for you.
Thank you.
That's a crazy tournament. That's impressive.
It is a crazy tournament. It is crazy. And it's
Becky, you need to do a shot for Roy.
Congratulations too on your renewing the vows.
Thank you.
I know. We confuse the
Yeah.
shit out of people, don't we?
We do. We confuse
Every
them.
time
Oh,
we
yeah.
post, it's like our 13th wedding. People are like,
Yeah.
you married someone, like, got
They
married
think
13 times.
They
like,
think it's my 13th. Yeah.
like my
Is it
face has
13?
my face
Yeah.
hasn't shown up
13th vow
for
renewal.
15
Yeah.
plus years
Yeah.
that it wasn't me again.
Yeah.
So-
It was fun. That was a fun deal.
So
yeah.
wait, real quick.
You're always just looking for another way to party,
That's right.
It is. It's an
Exactly.
excuse to
It's an
party.
excuse to
So
celebrate.
how many was that?
13?
That was the 13th wedding.
Wedding.
So 12.
12 years, but the 13th
Yeah, right?
wedding renewal.
How freaking fun is
Wedding.
that? You guys got it too good. Too good.
You gotta get your
I need
Look
to-
at Brian's face.
Brian looks
Other than that.
confused.
We got married in 09. Right? So
I
that's
gotcha.
12, right? Right, Brian?
Yeah. Probably.
Yeah.
That's a foot. Probably.
Anyway, real
Yeah,
quick.
carry on.
Let me tell this story let me tell this story real quick,
let's hear
and then I want to get back to Lake Mead.
But we all know how many ounces are in a pound.
We do. I want to tell a story real quick. So
78.
we convinced our 2 little kids to get into this madness of dressing up and this whole ridiculous thing of, we're getting
Or else, right?
Right, or else. We're renewing our vows under the Las Vegas sign by an Elvis impersonator. We're dressing up as 2 Marilyn Monroes and 2 Elvises, right? We convinced them of this.
Real quick, you know what was amazing about that?
What's that?
When that happened is
Yeah.
when Instagram and Facebook locked down.
Oh, yeah.
And more than one person hit me up. Your picture, that one with you guys looking all crazy like
Yeah.
that, was all that kept showing up on
Yes,
the feed.
it was.
for like
It broke
12
the internet.
hours.
That one picture
Every
broke
time
the
they
internet.
came back and
Internet.
checked, it was you guys.
Right. It was us.
I broke the internet.
Yeah, we broke the internet. But the funniest thing, and I'll never forget this. I'm so glad we do this every year because it always makes memories. But dude, we're staying at the Paris Hotel, and we're up on like the 13th, 14th floor, and we're all dressed up. And Stella and Vegas are borderline like, they're dressed.
A little
but
embarrassed.
they're a little embarrassed.
And we're
but
like, no, it's
no,
Vegas."
It's Vegas. Don't worry. Just come on. Trust us. Dude, we are dressed. We are walking.
They're already embarrassed at that age?
Yeah.
Oh,
Dude,
yeah.
we are walking through. We go
We're
down
very
the.
embarrassing parents.
We get on the elevator. First of all, there's another like 4 or 5 people in the elevator.
Yeah.
Not a word
Right.
said. Not a word said. We come down the elevator. We get onto the hotel floor at the Paris. Dude, packed. Like people playing slots at the bars and shops.
Yeah.
And we're just walking. I'm drinking a beer. We're just strutting to head to our limo. Dude, nobody says anything. Nobody bats an eye at us. It's like normal.
It's
like
another
day.
it's like nobody even cares.
You can't shake anybody these days.
Dude, it's so great. And I'm just watching Vegas, and he's like, he's like looking around like, oh, somebody's nothing. Nobody gives a shit. It's so great. I'm like, yes, this is perfect.
The best part
You
is
can see anything in Vegas.
Anything. Yeah.
The best
Yeah,
part
yeah.
is when it was all said and done, the two of them, they were like, Elvis, can I get a picture with you? Like
Oh,
they
yeah.
both wanted a picture with Elvis.
Oh, yeah.
Like he was like the real Elvis celebrity.
The real
or something.
Elvis.
Yeah,
he
they
was
were like,
the real. Well, he
yeah,
was
they
close to
both-
being the real
yeah.
Elvis. Yeah.
All right, where were we? I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
I do want to get back to this. So it's interesting. I think let me ask you this a different way. We have a lot of people
All right.
watching tonight that are specifically tuning in for this, that are West Coast guys, because they want to know. I'm just going to ask the question that they are thinking. How do you win the U.S. Open on Lake Mead? How do you win it? What's your opinion?
Catch more and bigger fish than everybody else.
More and bigger fish than everyone else.
Well, just bigger, at least 5 a day, and bigger than everybody else's. But no, every year I think you have to assess it each year. I mean, typically, I do like what you did. Basically,
Right.
I cover a ton of water in the lake, and
I had to, right?
a lot.
I had to.
Yeah, you
I've
have
never
to.
been there.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Even though I've been there a ton of times, I mean, still that's my normal approach, and I've won that way as well.
Yeah.
And won other tournaments that way, covering a ton of water and figuring out where the best bites are and the best patterns and being able to, it's an unbelievable, great, positive, like pattern type of lake. I mean, it's just, it is.
Yeah.
It is an awesome pattern lake. And, generally that can be a really key player. If you look at, like I won in the Vegas Wash area, if you look back at all the wins of the U.S. Open, they've been won in all different arms of the lake, out in the middle. They've been won drop shots, spinner baits, top water. Back in the days when we had flooded wood, flipping. Guys have won it in 40 or 50 feet of water. Guys have won it in 2 feet of water. And so really, I mean, you gotta, what I did this year doesn't really showcase this, but you really do have to assess everything typically there and get a real good feel for it, and then just dive in for something, but
Right.
still keep an open mind to be able to, as the conditions change, you got to be able to adapt to that. If the wind comes up, whatnot, whatever it might be.
Yeah.
It changes every second typically.
Man, what a grinder. What a grinder. I would definitely put that in my top 5, Brian the Carpenter, of toughest tournaments I've ever fished. For sure.
Yeah.
That would be in my top. I'd
As
put
far
it,
as like lack of getting bites or just the size?
Just grind. Just the grind. Not even the fish, just the grind aspect of it. I'd put it there with Pittsburgh, Ohio River, Delaware River. Very, very grind.
How many bites you get a day?
I was getting a lot of bites, but again, I'm listening to what Roy's saying because I want to win this one year. I think my downfall was I fished MLF style because I actually got like 13 to 15 keeper bites. I was catching 13 to 15 keepers a day. Roy, how many keepers a day did you catch?
Between me and my co-angler, we caught 5 the first day and 6 the second day.
Exactly. You
Oh,
see
this
it?
is a team deal, right?
Team deal.
Oh.
Team
Yeah,
deal.
It's cool format, Rich. Real cool.
It is
Okay,
a cool format. Yeah.
Real quick, getting back to how to win the U.S. Open.
Yeah.
A lot of times it comes down to using that co-angler as a tool. They're an extra rod in your boat and being able to work with them. They are your best friend for 8 hours.
Yeah.
And how you guys work together and being able to capitalize on opportunities that you both have makes a huge difference.
Yeah. Real quick. Why don't we Roy? We'll split the duty here. If you're watching and listening right now, and you're saying, "What are you talking about? The co-angler? You're fishing against that guy. You're trying to block him." This is very unique because in this event, the AAA, the co-angler, the rider, is your partner. Talk about that, Roy. How does that how does that lay out in this particular event in the U.S. Open?
You know, I overall, like, you wouldn't want a whole circuit necessarily like this, you know what I mean? But for 1 or 2 events a year, it's really, really cool. And it makes a special, I mean, someone can come out and draw Mike, Ike, and Ellie, and you guys become a team for the day where you're trying to catch your 5 best fish combined. So you got someone like Mike, Ike, and Ellie that's willing to help you, give you baits, you know, whatever. He's just as happy to net your fish as you are to net his fish. And it's just a unique format that it really creates a unique bond between you and your AAA each day. And I've met friends that have been my friends for, you know, a lifetime after that.
Yeah.
So it's a special deal. It's a real special deal.
Dude,
it's a lot of fun.
It's awesome. It's awesome. Beck, you heard me talk. We talked about this. I called Beck like every night to tell her what was going down and everything like that. But it felt so good to not have to
hate.
I don't want to say hate. Hate's a strong word.
Worry. Like you worry about what's happening.
About your boat positioning, right? And your angles. Dude, to have that dude be a part of the team felt so
it sounds
good.
dope as hell.
Dude,
man.
it was so freeing.
Yeah.
I cannot even tell you. And I think you hit it on the head, Roy. It's like you know, your team, use him.
Yep.
Let him be a guinea pig or an aid or a second follow-up.
I like it a lot.
It's great. Now let me step back though and be honest, because this is Ike Live. You got to be honest when you're on the show.
Yeah.
The Jersey in me was a little worried. You know what I mean? Because it's like we live in the Northeast. We live in Jersey. You don't trust nobody. You don't trust anybody. You don't trust shit.
Especially you.
Yeah, you don't trust me. I don't trust myself, right? And you know, part of me was like on the format. You know, before I fish, it was like, oh, I don't know about that, because then I draw somebody. He's going to tell everybody, oh yeah, he's throwing a hair jig. He's throwing a 1/4 ounce hair jig. That's going to spread across.
Honest to God, this was his concern that they were going to tell the next guy.
Because I caught him on a little hair jig. Like,
so how is that different
shit.
than if he wasn't on your team?
Hold on.
Yeah.
Let me finish my statement.
Right. You caught him on a hair jig?
And you know, he was going to go to his next partner and tell him not only the bait, but the area, the cadence, the line. I was a little worried about that.
But I mean, that's the same thing you deal with a co-angler that's not on your team.
Yeah, I don't know. It just felt different. I don't know. It felt different. Like I was worried about that. But once the dudes were in my boat and once I got the vibe of the U.S. Open, it went away. It like just melted away, like I wasn't worried about it, and it was never an issue, and I'm not worried about it. And I look forward to fishing that style again.
That's dope.
You know, it's super.
Yeah, you better come out.
Yeah, no, I'm coming out. Like I said,
all right,
dude. I'm not kidding. Look behind there. There's gonna be one of those giant ass trophies that you got back there one day. I'm telling you. I got to do it now. I got to do it. You know what I mean? I want to be a winner there.
So you caught him on a hair jig?
I did catch. I caught about half of my fish on basically a glorified crappie jig.
I wasn't gonna let you just skip past.
I know, but that's not important because I came in 24th. What is 24th
important? 24th is pretty good, dude.
No, that's not that good.
Yeah, that's really good.
200.
I'm totally disappointed. It's not that good. I do want to talk about. This is the last fishing thing.
This is deflection.
I don't want to talk about the hair jig anymore. This is the last thing, Roy, that we're going to talk about fishing technique-wise, because Beck's going to keep elbowing me. Tell me a little bit about the bait, because this is the other thing that is interesting to me. Dude, I know a jig, when you're talking about big fish, swim bait, topwater jig. Swim bait, topwater jig, right? They're the three things you always say if you're targeting bigger fish. I know that. In practice, I could not get a jig bite going. I caught like 2 little itsy bitsies in practice on a jig. You rode a jig to a win here. Talk a little bit about the bait and how you fished. I know this isn't BU Live, but I do want you to talk about
Mike
it real
just wants
quick.
this information.
I do. I want the information.
I
I'm being
know,
greedy
yeah.
here.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, I don't think you want to do it, man. I guess if you got the win, you probably want to do it, but man, it's painstaking. But it's kind of a power finesse jig, kind of like the mini flip would be, that type of a jig.
Compact, a
It's
little smaller. Yeah.
Yeah, a buddy of mine, Chris Kinley, he made this jig kind of with my help and whatnot, but it's designed to be real compact, but you can still fish it with some heavier line. I was using 16-pound Yamamoto Sugoi line, fluorocarbon line, and not the 6-pound stuff. You know what I mean? 16-pound line.
Yeah.
I'm using a 3/8 jig, so it doesn't weigh much really.
Oh wow.
And then I'm using a Yamamoto Psycho Dad trailer, which has a little air pocket in it. It's probably kind of a medium-sized trailer with very little action to it. And so it was a real slow fall. And it was real compact, but it was still bigger than like a finesse type of jig. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the big ones I caught the first day and the 2 big ones I caught the second day were all on that jig. And they were, the difference makers. Otherwise we'd have 6 pounds a day or something.
Yeah. That's unbelievable. Riz Jig's always a player when it comes to a win. Zake, hold on a second. Let me remind everybody. Zake. You like that new nickname?
Is that the nickname?
It's one of them. We came up with a couple. Zake.
I'm taking a chance.
What is Zake?
Zake was actually a mistake by me. We had Zell on, and I went to say Jake, and I said Zake. So by default, he's now Zake. Let me remind everybody, if you're watching tonight, I want to thank you for joining a brand new Ike Live. We've got Roy Hawk on tonight. If you've got a question or comment, please hit us up. Zake, what do you got?
Jawbone Jake.
Zake, what do you got? Jawbone Jake?
It's on the list.
Okay, that's a good one, too.
Jawbone,
what do you got?
I got Tony Warren on Facebook, and he was one of Roy's co-anglers the first day.
Ooh.
Then he fished with Rusty, who was leading on the second day.
So he won. He's the winner of the co-angler side then, if he drew, right? And
No.
is that correct? No?
I don't
No.
I don't believe so.
Okay.
No.
All right. I'm sorry.
And he said that both anglers fished their own way and never wavered from what got them there. So there's no need to be scared because Tony said it's okay.
How does Tony draw 1 and 2?
Yeah.
I know that they're good draws.
What's up, Tony?
The guy who won fished with Rusty the first day and then fished with me the second day. So he got the big bag money the first day and the big bag money the second day and won the tournament. Yeah, he smoked him. He had, 23 pounds.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
Pangrac, didn't Pangrac win like last year or the year before as a
Matt?
co?
Yeah, he did. It was a couple years ago. Yeah, that was awesome.
He won
Pretty
U.S.
cool.
Open?
As a co?
Yeah,
I didn't know
as a
that.
co.
It did, yeah.
Damn it.
Yeah,
I was wondering where he got all that money to
he
fish
had
all
enough
those
money
opens.
to drive back to Oklahoma.
Right?
and rent a room above Mark's studio.
Above Mark's studio, right?
Above his garage.
And Mark's yelling at him the
With
whole
his
time.
cats.
Just yelling at him.
Yep.
That's great. That's
Yep.
awesome.
But yeah, he was
Everything you want at
real
40.
quick. He was a great co-angler. We had a great time, and he did a great job. He caught some key fish for us. I mean, without the fish that he caught, I wouldn't have won for sure. So the big hats off to him as well.
Wow.
That's
That's
huge.
awesome.
Dude, that's incredible. Isn't that incredible, though?
I love it, dude. I
Again, it's
freaking love it.
what a cool format. And I do want to say
It
this. My AAA both days, I got out of my 5 weighed a key fish for me each day too. So it does
Right.
make a big difference.
Hell
and to have
yeah.
them guys casting behind you and they're into it
Same
because
team, dude.
right. It's
Yeah.
they're a part of it, right?
I love a buddy tournament.
Oh, it's great.
Oh yeah.
It's great. Zake, what else you got?
A lot of guys are saying how they miss Hawk, and this is kind of a touchy subject.
Okay. We like touchy. It's like live.
They miss having Roy
Yeah.
on the Bass series.
Oh.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh.
All right. Well, I mean, let's.
It's not touchy. Everyone has feelings about this.
Yeah, everyone has
This is
feelings
like
about
the
it.
topic for the last. Like,
It has
3
been a
years.
topic for the last for the last couple of years. Let me just go ahead and jump on it, Roy. I mean, this is Ike Live.
All right.
Jump on.
Jump
it.
on it.
Yeah, jump on it. Jump
Jump
on.
on it. Jump on it.
You do have to tell the truth, but at the end of the day, you don't have to
Okay.
answer it if you don't want to.
You don't have to say anything.
Make an announcement.
Yeah, no, you said it in the show.
Yeah.
You have a style that's very conducive to swinging that bat, fishing to win, right? That is not an MLF style. Are you happy at MLF?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
I can choose to do whatever I want, but
Yeah.
I'm choosing to go back to the Bass Pro Tour.
Yeah.
I see it as a challenge, and I think I'm getting better at it. And I'm looking forward to next year. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's a different style of fishing, but we're all here to learn, and I'm learning a lot being there. I'm actually becoming a better fisherman in a lot of regards.
Yeah.
Even in regular five fish events, I'm learning how to get bit when I need to. I've lost the U.S. Open because I weighed 7 bass out of a possible 15 before, and I was 2.5 pounds from winning.
Wow.
You know what I mean? If I would have known how to get bit
Two
back then, I'd
keepers.
have won that sucker.
Yeah, you need two
keepers
more
or
keepers.
one nice one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. So you think MLF is actually helping you in your fishing,
absolutely. it
in
is.
your career?
Yeah.
It's helping complement your style.
Absolutely, 100%. And just the intensity format. You know what I mean? I mean, that is the most intense, insane fishing you've ever experienced.
I will second that. And listen,
Yeah.
we've had a
Hearing
lot
the
of
weights.
yes. Let me
Oh,
second that
God.
because we've had a lot over the last couple shows. We've had a lot of the other side
Yeah.
of why bass is better. But let me second what Roy just said, which is 100%. They were some of the most exciting, nail-biting, nerve-wracking days I've ever had.
Oh
Beck,
my
were
Beck,
God.
you know this. Becky knows this because I would get off the water and
Do you
it,
see these wrinkles, Roy?
yeah, you see the wrinkles.
Yeah.
The
I
Botox
know.
doesn't even help anymore.
No, the Botox doesn't help. You can shoot anything you want in her forehead. It doesn't matter anymore. It's just stiff.
My wife's back here saying she needs Botox. I'm the
Right,
same place.
right. We all need Botox at some point. But I will agree with you that,
That's
Yeah.
true.
dude, it's very exciting, very stressful.
Yeah.
There is something special about that. It makes you old quick, but there is something, that you try. Like, I remember some of those days that I had when I was on the bubble and just made it
Yeah.
or just
Oh,
missed.
yeah.
Either way,
Yeah.
Oh, God.
they were tense and
I remember the first one.
Oh yeah. Oh
I was
yeah.
showing a house when I was like, he made it.
Yeah.
And then 2 seconds later, I was like, fuck, he didn't
I did make it. I'm out. I'm in.
But
I'm
this is the
out.
bedroom to the left.
Yeah. But I do remember that, and I agree with you. It's very, very exciting. And when you look at it from afar, it's exciting. And a lot of people forget this, but I have 2 cup wins in MLF.
Yeah.
And I remember like the countdown. And if you've won an MLF event or if you've won a round or if you've made a round, you know that moment when they're like 10, 9, and they start that countdown and you're just like, and it's like, and it goes away and you're like, and I've learned like in that format, I learned to like be patient and just wait about 10 minutes to make sure,
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
learned
make
that
sure.
really quick, but after it happens, it's like, and that's hard to duplicate in other circuits. So I would agree with you in that,
I can't wait to win one.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, the first time I got to experience the pace of the game, in that format was insane when we were down there in Florida, that very first one. And I really started to get a feel for like what the pace would be like.
Yeah.
Man, it was insane. I was like,
Yeah.
oh my gosh, you know what I mean? I got to catch another one. I got to catch, you know what I mean? And this guy
Yeah.
caught one, that guy caught one. It was just crazy, dude.
Yeah.
There's
It's
a-
just so
there's
much
like a-
information.
There's an anxiety to it because you
Yeah.
know too much. Where on the bass side, like you don't know anything until you come in at the end of the day, maybe banter with people, and then actually weigh in, have other
Right.
people weigh in. There is an all day.
Frenetic.
Or
pace.
if you have Chris
Yes.
Alfonso fishing in your trail,
Frenetic.
then you know what everybody's caught
Right.
throughout the
Yeah.
whole day.
Right.
None of
It
it's
is. It's-
true,
it's-
but yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have to say, this year was fabulous because they don't report on the Opens or the Toyota Series.
Yeah.
So I got my days back.
Yeah, Beck didn't give a shit. Nobody cared. I was fishing the Opens and Toyota Series. Nobody cared about anything.
It was beautiful.
Chris is
I'll
like,
see you weigh in.
Nobody cared. I was just out there. It's like fishing a club derby. Nobody gave a shit.
Chris
about
is
anything.
like score tracker, but it's all bullshit.
Right. Oh, Chris Delfonso.
Yeah, right? Right,
Yeah.
Rich?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Pretty much.
Pretty much.
Roy, I want to put you on the spot on something else too, and I'm going to say this without. I won't give any other names because I don't want to get us. I want to get us in trouble. But
oh God! Do you notice how he looked at me? So we're about this. Is
no, I'm not getting anybody in trouble on this one because I won't say any of the other names. But I'm trying to figure out the right way to say this. But like when
this is going to be fun.
I know. I'm so worried.
No. This is good. This is good.
This is good.
Roy,
it's never good when he says.
No. This is good.
I know.
Roy, when we first met, my first couple interactions with you, it's hard to it's hard to describe this. I'm going to try to describe it. If you're watching and listening to this right now, and you're from the Northeast, if you're from New Jersey or Pennsylvania or New York, you know exactly what the hell I'm talking about. If you're from other parts of the country, you might not understand this as well. But my first couple interactions with you, I immediately knew that you were a good dude. Like immediately. Like I don't know how to put it. Riz, how do you put it? When you're born in this area, you read people fucking instantly.
Yeah.
Did he curse or something? Why was he okay?
No, he didn't curse. No, I just read it. Like I could tell that Roy was a good dude. Instantly.
Roy has a kind face.
That probably helps, but it was instantaneous. I knew
That's
you
what
didn't.
my mother says.
No, I'm serious. I knew that you didn't have a malicious bad bone in your body. You were a good dude. Like I knew like that. Like I'd say like the second interaction. I knew, and like a lot of dudes that I've been around in this fishing industry, bass, MLF. I'm talking about other anglers, right?
Right.
Your initial interaction. You're like, oh fuck, no. Like,
it's Spidey sense.
Oh, and Beck, you've got it. If Roy, if you live in the Northeast, you're born with Spidey sense, dude. Like I've met dudes that on paper
I know what you're saying,
right? Like on paper at the MLF tour, these are like just regular good dudes. Like you look at the names, like good dude, good dude. Common, doesn't get excited. He's just even keeled. No, oh hell no.
Wait, what?
I met the dude, and I'm like, oh no, that's the dude you got to watch out for. No, hell no. He would stab your ass in the back the instant you turn your back.
Yep.
You're not like that, dude. Yeah, I'm just saying.
You're not that guy.
You're not that guy, and I've heard it from like people know, like. Last week when you won, everyone was genuinely excited about your win. That's very rare when someone wins, and I just want to bring that up. I think it's awesome, man. You're a good dude.
Thank you.
You're a good dude, man.
Oh, that was so nice.
I'm just telling you, it's the truth. It's the absolute truth.
We can
You're
stop
one of the good
sweating
guys.
now, Brian. We didn't know where that
Yeah,
was
no,
going.
No, that's where it went.
He complimented Roy by shitting on everybody else.
I didn't shit on everybody else. I wish I could say the names because I want to really bad. Believe me.
Oh my gosh.
Maybe not.
Yeah, I could think of a few, but
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Boom, boom.
Who was that reporter that always made everybody cry? Was it Barbara Walters?
Yeah, Baba Wawa.
You remember?
Yeah, Baba
everybody
Wawa.
would end up crying. It's like one of those Barbara Walters moments. I'm
Yeah.
like, oh,
Yeah.
Oh,
Ike's
man.
breaking me down to shed a tear or something. On his
Back
show.
when life was simple.
Yeah.
Hey, real quick about similar type of thing, like between me and Mike. I mean, we've never. It's like we always kind of had a weird connection. It's not. I don't even have your cell phone number. You know what I mean? But whenever we interact, it's always like, "Hey, what's up?" You know what I mean? Every time I'll be fishing down some cove and I'll hear this, Roy!
Dude, I love yelling your name as loud as I can. I love it. I don't know.
Or the time. Yeah. The time at the Classic, when we saw you and me and Sonny went and jumped on your back. Remember that?
Oh yeah, yeah, that's awesome. Yeah. By the way, we mentioned this at the top of the show, but I want to just bust your balls again real quick. We did have your son on before we had you on Night Live Show. I don't know what that's all about, but your son's a great angler too. He's awesome.
Oh, he's awesome. Yeah, he actually did pretty good in that tournament too. That was his first crack at fishing the U.S. Open as a pro, and he was a couple pounds away from a check. So he's stoked with that, and he got a real good feel for what I've been talking about forever. About how to fish the U.S. Open, what it is.
Yeah.
He can't wait for next year.
Sonny's
Just
on the
like you.
message board,
Anyone
by the
that
way.
fishes it, they want another crack at it. You know what I mean? You get that taste in your mouth, and you
It's
want to do
very,
it again.
very
Yeah.
addictive. Very addictive to
Yeah.
fish that, and you want back. Beck, I told you before that I want you to come out. You got to see even just describe the settings, Roy, because you've been back east. You fished everything back here. It is a magical place with
It is.
the way it's laid out. Talk a little bit about that for people that don't know Lake Mead. What makes it special?
Well, I mean, it's so arid there. I mean, it is like, and seemingly it's just desolate. But when you at closer look, it's got so much beauty. And when you think there's nothing alive, all of a sudden there is something alive. Between like a bighorn sheep or a donkey or a hawk flying in the air, or ospreys or whatnot. It's wild. I mean, it is one of the wildest places you'll ever bass fish.
Yeah.
There's no like houses around there. There's hardly anything. It's just wild desert terrain, big giant cliffs, vertical cliffs, and sandy beaches and crystal blue water. I mean, it's just a unique fishery. You don't see anything like it. The closest thing would be like Powell, I guess, you know what I mean, which is a whole different type of similar, you can go there in the off season and drive around. You won't see anybody, like nobody.
It's
or
crazy.
anything, you know what I mean? Just,
I said
it's
this.
amazing.
I said this before, but I actually the first full day of practice and probably like the next half day of practice, I was having a hard time even fishing. Like, I'm not kidding. Like, I ran through the Narrows the first day at like barely as fast as I can go to stay on pad. People were passing me almost like pissed off because I was blocking up the Narrows sort of. But I was just like in awe. And like that first day I would drop my trolling motor and it was hard for me to even think about fishing.
It's just amazing, right?
Right, because you drop your trolling motor and you're like, oh my God, like the vastness of it, and like the best comparison I can give is like when you go to New York City.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like
looking up at the high rise.
No, it sounds so weird, but
I get
it's
it.
the best analogy because like you go to New York and you're just like,
there's nothing else like it.
oh my God, you're like looking up and you're like, this is, that was exactly like it. It was hard to concentrate.
Awe-inspiring.
Yeah.
Roy, where are you from? Where'd you grow up?
I was born in Carbondale, Illinois, and I grew up in Salt Lake City, Utah from 5 till, I don't know, about 10 years ago, I moved to Lake Havasu.
Okay.
Yeah.
I spent a year in Elko, Nevada.
Nice.
Yeah.
Was it good?
yeah, it was interesting. Senior year of high school. Yeah.
Right on.
Yeah. But I
That's
get
cool.
it. Like I kind of miss that the high desert plateaus and it was wild out there.
Yeah.
Dry as hell, bloody noses in the morning. You scratch your arm and it's like just scales. You don't have skin, you just have scales.
Force MD concert.
Force MD concert.
Yeah, you're the only one there.
Yeah, man.
Thanks, Roy.
That's funny.
Mike set me up, man.
Let's tell that
I
story.
guess
Let me tell that story
Go ahead,
real
tell
quick.
your dumbass story.
All right, so Roy, he moved to Elkton, whatever the fuck it is out there.
Elkton, Maryland.
Elkton, Maryland.
Elko, Nevada.
Elko,
man.
Nevada. He's
Northeast
out there.
corner.
Yeah,
of
he's
Nevada.
out there, and it was like the tail end of
89.
it was in the 80s, and it was like hip hop was still there. It was like not original hip hop, but it was like the progression of hip hop. Brian's like, like NWA and all these other cool groups. And it was
Beastie
like
Boys.
Beastie Boys and,
So I call back
Run
to the
DMC,
East Coast,
Public
I'm like,
Enemy.
Mike, what's going on?
Yeah, what's going on?
What do I got to buy?
What's a cool concert? I'm like, well, what do you got out there? He's like, Brian's like, yeah, I got this concert coming. Force MDs. And Love is a House. And I'm like, oh, yeah, Force MDs. That's a good group.
Is that like the flea market version?
Yeah,
of
that's
Run
like
DMC or
it's like an
something?
R&B group. It's an R&B group. So Brian like buys a ticket like by himself, and he shows up, and he's the only white person there, and he gets there, and it's just like
totally not the story.
and it's like love. It's like love R&B, like love music, like.
Why is Mike telling the story
Job
about
DMC.
something he wasn't there for?
And he completely got it wrong.
What?
Because I said, Mike, like, what do I got to buy? And he told me Force MDs.
Force MDs love is
so
a
I
house.
went and bought a cassette tape. I didn't go to no damn concert. I bought a
damn it.
cassette
Oh my
tape.
God, he's so
It's not even
made
a
up the
concert?
whole story.
He just totally made up a bullshit story.
I like the concert better.
Roy, he's one of them guys you got to watch out for. You know what I'm saying? Like, talk about that initial. Yeah. Yeah, he's that guy.
All right, whatever,
He's
Brian.
Full of shit.
Quiet, quiet, everyone. Just keep producing. Shut up. All right, let me remind you, if you're watching and listening, this is an amazing Sunday.
It was a cassette.
It's like
tape.
whatever. I don't
You
want to talk about it
turned into
anymore.
a
I like a
concert.
concert.
an
idea.
Half a step past an 8-track.
Whatever. Concert's
Cassette.
better. You're listening to a brand new Ike Live. We have Roy Hawk on, two-time, not one, but two-time U.S. Open champ. If you've got questions or comments, please send them
We
through.
got Sunny Ridge on the
What do we got?
message
What do we
board.
got?
We got Sonny
Oh,
Hawk on
no.
the message board.
Oh, what?
Sunny Ridge Hawk.
Uh-oh.
Sonny wants to know, what is Roy's most fun victory and most impactful victory?
Ah,
Look at these very serious.
that's a
questions.
serious question.
Okay. Well, I would say one of my greatest, probably the single greatest fishing memory that I have, I'll throw it back at him, is when he won the Forest Wood Cup. He'll be the last reigning champion of
Yes.
the Forest Wood Cup.
Yes, we had him on the show. Also, right after that, what a
That's
great win!
awesome.
Yeah,
A little play on words. Sonny is forever reigning.
that's true.
Yeah.
How about
He
it?
can't be
Yeah,
taken.
see?
He can't be taken down.
That's right.
That's
Nope.
right.
And he
Can't be
stands
canceled.
with Brian Thrift as being the last reigning pro champion.
Wow. So that puts a little pressure on you. You're going to have to win an MLF event this year, Roy,
See?
because I have a feeling
Yeah.
this is the last year it's going to be around.
Oh,
Yeah.
No, that was a joke. Come on, guys. I'm just joking. It's a joke.
Look,
That was a
Roy, you
horrible-
got
No,
Roy
it
drinking.
wasn't a horrible joke. I was
Yeah,
just
well,
Let him finish.
all
Let
right,
him
all
finish.
You
right.
made Roy drink.
No.
Yeah. But no, probably, I don't know, probably this one, is right up there for sure. I won an FLW series event when they had those. I won $100,000 at Lake Mead. And that wasn't long after I quit my job for the last time in 2007. I won that in May 2008.
Wow.
So that kind of solidified and made it make sense. You know what I mean? I
Yeah.
wondered if I was going to starve to death or what. And getting that win was really big deal. And I dedicated that one to my mother.
No,
That's awesome.
That's beautiful.
That's probably the most impactful one, like for myself.
Yeah,
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
it's awesome.
What was your job, Roy?
What was that?
What was your job?
The last job I had, I worked for a good friend of mine's construction company. His name's Frank Young. Yeah.
What were you
And
doing?
before that, I basically just worked odd jobs throughout my whole life and whatever would give me the time to fish. So
sounds familiar.
I worked in tackle stores and all kinds of
Just
stuff.
point at me.
Yeah, you're almost there.
Odd jobs?
Yeah,
Odd
odd jobs and
jobs.
won a tournament.
How dare you.
It's almost
Yeah,
How dare you?
it's all good.
Yeah, I do want to say this real quick. You're in a rare category when it comes to a two-time winner, two-time U.S. Open champ. Not very many dudes have done that. Looking at some of the names here, Brian Carpenter, give them to me. We got Byron Clun has won it. It's a unique group of
They've won it
anglers.
twice, both of them?
Well, Aaron's won it twice. Aaron's
Three
there.
times.
3 times.
Oh, my God.
Yep.
That's got to make you feel good, and especially I wanted to say this real quick. I don't want to bring the mood down of the show, but we are all thinking about Aaron right now. Difficult time thinking about Aaron, but that's got to make this special too, because you're in a class there that's amazing. There will never be another Aaron, right? He was,
Right.
He's one of the best in the world, and you're in that group. That's a pretty amazing thing,
Hell
man.
yeah, man.
That's a pretty
Yeah, it's
amazing
pretty
thing.
humbling for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very, very humble.
It's really, yeah, it's cool though, man. I'm stoked for what it means, for my family and, the legacy that we leave behind. And, you always want to get better. And whenever you get a milestone like that, it always kind of stamps that time period. Like when you won the classic,
Yeah.
that'll forever be stamped there. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
when you look back at your life, you look at those key times, and this will be one of them.
Yeah. I would agree with that. Zake, what do you got? You got any more coming through for us? Because I know I had one that came through social media, but go ahead. What do you got?
I got a question on the jig and the
Yeah.
trailer that Roy was throwing to win this tournament. And what did you catch the big fish on? If you want to explain.
Yeah, I caught the big one on the same jig, and it's a jig that me and Chris Kinley made together, and he says it's his jig, and I say it's my jig, so we're both saying it's my jig, so we called it my jig.
That's awesome.
Chris
And
is
like I
actually
said,
a Jersey
it was,
guy.
yeah, it's my jig. Yeah, Chris is a Jersey guy. We sucked him out of there and got him into the beauty of Lake Havasu now, though.
Football
So-
jig, or what's the head style?
It's basically like an Arky style with a 60 degree eye on it.
Okay.
Yeah.
How many of you live at Havasu? Because isn't that where Rojas lives too?
Yep. And Justin Kerr,
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
real good pro.
Doesn't one of the
He was
Bailey
just-
brothers? Bailey brothers live there?
Yeah.
Sean, right?
Yeah, Sean lived here. He moved to. He may still have a house here, but we only see him around for certain events.
Where's Josh?
He lives over in
Bertrand?
California, mainly.
Josh is close
He lives in
by.
Phoenix.
Oh, he's in
Oh, he's
Phoenix.
Phoenix.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was so
Yeah.
nice too. That's the other aspect of the US Open real quick I want to mention, which is, dude, it felt like there was not a cutthroat feeling to that tournament.
Yeah.
Like where I
Yeah.
stayed out on those houseboats at the marina,
Yeah.
and like
Because it's no point series, or
it's a one and done,
Yeah.
right? It's a championship event, but it's a one and done. But nobody like people were cooking for each other, sharing baits, laugh. You know what I mean? Like it felt
Yeah.
it
Oh,
felt
yeah.
different
Who'd you cook for?
than I didn't cook for anybody. But shout out to everybody who cooked. I wish I knew the name of the one guy that cooked.
Shout out to everyone who fed
cooked.
Mike.
Everyone who fed me.
Yeah.
Who made your sandwiches?
Even Beck made my sandwiches. They were special. But
Uh-oh.
besides those sandwiches, B Height.
I
B
heard
Height.
about Beck's sandwiches.
Yeah.
Becky's sandwiches are back.
Yeah, there's actually one in the refrigerator. We're going to show that later. Brett did make me a very interesting lunch one day.
Who?
B Height on the day off.
Okay.
B Height made me a very interesting, and it was a I told Beck this, and what did I say it was called? Was it a Phoenix? No, what was it?
Penis?
Whatever. Let me tell you what it was.
Jackhammer?
It was a brat. He put a brat
Okay.
on the grill. He grilled the brat,
Right.
and then he put a big soft taco shell on the
Right.
grill. Grilled that up, like got it crispy on both sides.
Yeah.
Then he sprinkled like cheese, like American or
Right.
something cheese on the taco shell, and then wrapped the brat up in the soft taco,
So it's like a freaking pig in
wow.
a blanket.
like a pig in a blanket.
But
and
he called it like a Southwest broad or
Southwest
dog or something.
Southwest brat or something like that.
Yeah.
But it was awesome. It was awesome.
Yeah,
It was so
sounds good.
Yeah, yeah.
Mike, do you
It's
remember when we flew into Anchorage,
Yeah.
Alaska? Me and you,
Mohanty?
yeah,
Yeah.
And Tom picked us up, and we had like a 4-hour drive to Homer, and Tom was burping freaking brats the whole way.
Oh, yeah. That's disgusting.
It was terrible.
Oh, it was terrible.
Yeah.
That's the worst.
That is a good story, bro.
That was a good story.
It's
Thank
just,
you.
That was just between me and Mike.
All right. I've got
What a memory.
I know. What a great. But it's like a smell-o-vision memory. I've got one that came through from Cole. And this question is for both of us, Roy, but I'm going to let you answer it first. The question's basically big announcement on the day after the U.S. Open. Big announcement that there's another championship event being created in the West Coast. I was there at the announcement because of Bass Cat was one of the presenting sponsors. A lot of emphasis going into building the tournament scene in the West Coast, right? Like saying, look, the West Coast has amazing anglers. We've got a lot of people that love to fish. Let's bring this to light. Let's build this up. Give me your thoughts on that, Roy. Like if you're a hardcore fish head, you've known the West Coast has hammers for years and years and years. But a lot of the country, they don't realize it. They don't get it. Give us your thoughts on building the tournament culture in the West Coast.
Yeah, I mean, it would be nice to see it grow for sure. There's been a lot of people that have taken a variety of stabs at it. throughout the years, and we've seen it kind of come and go up and down to some degree. But yeah, there's still a core base of hardcore bass fishermen that are looking for opportunities. And I saw that announcement as well, and it looks like something positive. It should kind of brings like all the circuits together, more or less. And it's a great deal. I mean, it's going to be a real cool deal for whoever gets a chance to fish in it. I'd like to fish in it. I just don't think I can be able to qualify, in any way with the format the way it is to qualify. So
right.
I'd like to though.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
Well, I think you should personally write a letter and say that the current U.S. Open champion should get an invite in.
Yeah.
And I think that's right.
Yeah, what the heck?
I think that's right.
So what is the qualifying?
The qualifying, so it's, if I'm not mistaken, it's called the Tournament of Champions. It's slated to be the West Coast version of the Bassmaster Classic, which is a good analogy, right?
Yeah.
It's a good analogy with an arena and media coverage and fans, so that feel of the Classic.
Yeah.
And they're taking 10 from Juan Bass. They're taking 10 from the what's the other one? The another Pro-Am circuit.
MLF Toyota Series.
MLF Toyota Series. They're taking 20 from the Apex Series.
Ah, the new league.
Yep. And then another 10 from the
Wild West Bass Pro Circuit.
That's exactly right.
That's beautiful.
Beautiful. So 50-person championship, big money,
Yeah.
TV coverage. I like it. I like it.
West
Listen,
Coast.
I told Rick this because I was there with Rick making the announcement.
Rick who?
Rick Pierce from Basscat. I told him right off the giddy. He didn't even send me any details yet. This was months ago. I said, I'm into supporting any event that builds the sport of fishing. And I think that's what it's going to do, right? That's what it's going to do because we want more people watching, participating, right?
Yeah.
This is something that's going to build excitement in the West Coast. It's going to make people in other parts of the world wake up and say the West Coast. Yeah, the West Coast is a great fishery. There's great anglers out there.
Absolutely.
So I'm all in, man.
Yeah.
I think it's great. Yeah. I think it's awesome.
100%.
Yeah. Jake, what do you got?
We got a couple things. Roy, did you have a follow-up on that?
Well, no.
Great.
Just that, I think it's going to be awesome for sure. Every little bit helps.
Like, does Christian Puga ring a bell to you?
Is that a real name or?
Yeah, that's a real one. Ike may not remember, but Christian was the kid that stole some beers from Ike after the tournament, and Ike was giving away some stuff from B Height. Did B Height ever get back to you on that?
That's funny. Yeah. Well, I now I remember. Stealing the beers is no big deal because I bought I didn't even think it was possible, but it was like a 52 pack of Modelo that I bought at the supermarket.
That's pretty cool.
Like
it's warm out there.
Yeah, I couldn't even carry the thing. It was like the biggest case of beer I've ever seen.
It came with a donkey.
It came with a donkey. So I couldn't possibly drink it all anyway. So we were just giving beers out that night. So that's cool. But the funny thing is that last night, Roy, everybody's tired and they're celebrating and, you're like, oh, it's over. And, there's that air of you want to, relief, right? And there was this young kid, and this is it's like midnight at this point. And there's this young kid. I want to put him at Vegas's age, 10-year-old kid that's still up.
Knock it off. He's 22.
And he walks in the houseboat, and dude, he grabs a beer and starts drinking the beer, and his dad's there, and we're all just looking what in the heck? And it was kind of strange and weird. But this kid was really outgoing, and he's like, oh, what's this? And B Height had a cardboard box that he ordered from Tackle Warehouse, and it was loaded with baits. And I was like, oh yeah, go ahead, just take it, whatever you want. And then he took the box, and it had these custom embroidered hats that Brett had done in there, and he took that. And then he comes back.
Oh my gosh.
And then he comes back, and then B had went to bed at that point, and then he comes back, and he's like,
dumbass.
He's still looking around. And then there's bags of plastics on the ground. I see these it was
Zaycos.
No, it wasn't Zaycos. It was
Wait, did he take his hats?
he took it all. And then there was that Z-Man stuff, like a bag of Elastec
Wait,
and a
is
bag.
he on the feed right now?
Yeah, and there was a bag of Max scent, and the kid's looking, he's looking at his. I'm like, oh, you want this? Yeah, go ahead, take it. And I'm giving all B Height stuff away.
Oh my god!
And the kid's taking it. The kid's just taking it, leaving that houseboat and going back down to his. Make a long story short, it all ended up okay. Brett woke up the next morning, got all his stuff back. The kid was hungover.
Oh, my
whatever.
God.
He was 10 years old. He had a
Oh, my
hangover. It was
God.
good.
10 years old.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah, his dad was there letting him drink. I don't know. I don't want to get nobody in trouble. I don't know.
what stays
Well,
in
you
Vegas?
just did.
Oh,
What
did I?
happens in Vegas stays in Vegas.
That's
man.
right.
That's right.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's different out there.
Yeah, it is different out there.
Different time zone.
Yeah, different times.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I don't even. You know what? Nothing makes me uncomfortable. This made me.
I
Very
know. It made me
uncomfortable.
uncomfortable too. I was sitting in the houseboat. It made me uncomfortable.
I mean, we talk about my magic sandwiches, and I survived that. This made me uncomfortable.
I know. It made me uncomfortable. I was there. I
Yeah.
don't know.
I don't know
Mike,
if I
way
should
to
like.
nurture the youth.
I don't know if I
know.
should like reprimand the child via like
Make
Ike
him a
Live
sandwich.
or
Make him a
Maybe
sandwich.
just
Beth.
short.
change
Maybe
the
just-
subject.
I don't know. I had nothing to do with any of that.
Well, let's just hope
It
that
sounds
this
like
is,
a Beastie Boys song.
let's hope that
Robbing
Mike's,
and stealing in a drunken state.
let's hope that Mike's recollection was much like the cassette versus concert.
Right,
and
maybe
this
it-
was like a 28-year-old kid.
No, he
just-
was 10, but maybe he had filled the beer with water, or maybe something like
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe it was
Maybe
a joke
something.
or a prank. I don't know. What do I know?
Gosh, Zake, you need to filter this shit.
Jake.
No, that's good though. That actually happened. I'm glad you brought that through. That was a real thing.
Well, there,
on a good note.
follow up, right?
Yeah.
There is a follow up. That was not Christian drinking the beer. It was a younger kid. But we can't say that name.
He didn't do
online.
it.
Okay.
Are you still friends with B Height after this?
Oh yeah. No, he got all his stuff back. He got all his stuff back. He's fine.
Yeah,
Except
On
for
a
the
good note,
accent.
on a good note, there's a lot of people saying that Roy is one of the best, and you put him in the category as A-Mart.
Yes.
One of the best
Yes.
Western anglers there is.
I would agree with that. 100%. I would agree with that.
I got a long ways to go.
Nah,
Long ways to go.
you're a great fisherman. You're a good dude. When you combine those two, dude, it brings you to the top, and that's the bottom line. So, very excited. Roy, last question. What's the future look like for you? What I know you've got a lot of goals. You got a lot of things you want to still do in your career. What's the future look like? What's 2022 look like?
I'm gonna fish the Bass Pro Tour course, and then, I'm one of those guys that fishes everything. I fish, a lot like you, Mike. I fish Wednesday nighters. I
Yeah.
fish team tournaments.
Yeah.
I fish everything in between, anything they'll let me into. So, I'll have a whole slate of stuff that'll keep me busy throughout the year. But yeah, the Bass Pro Tour, of course, is my biggest focus, and trying to make red crest, trying to get in those cuts, trying to get better at that format, is a real good goal. And then, my number one priority is just chase my wife around the house whenever I get a chance,
That's a good one. Yeah. Holla. That's a good one.
You should.
Yeah, as you should. Yeah, definitely.
right.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And even when she acts like she finds it so annoying, just keep doing it.
That's right. It's all part
You
of the
hear that,
game.
baby?
It's all part
She's
of the
cracking
game.
up over here.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Roy, I can't thank you enough for coming on. Too long to have you on. I'm glad we had you on after this win. It was amazing.
Thank you.
And I hope I get to compete with you at the U.S. Open over the next handful of years, because I feel like I want to win, but I feel like if I don't win unless you're there, like, you know what I mean? Like, you want the guys that dominate to be there.
You want to fish
right?
against the best.
You want to fish against the best, right? Like,
absolutely.
We had great fishermen at that one. We had past champions there. I saw the one day I saw Byron Velvick. There he was fishing just outside the off limits, throwing a giant swim bait. I knew he had no idea what he was doing. It was great. Shirt off, hair flowing. I was like, man, this is the Byron I remember.
That's right.
So I hope you keep competing. I hope I get back. I hope we get back because I want you to see it. And
I'm gonna, if you're not there, I'm gonna come get you and bring you
come
there.
get my ass, because I really want to go do it. By the way, I know we didn't get him on, but shout out to that organization, Billy Egan.
Yep.
Dude, they do put on a good tournament. That was, I mean, from the pre-tournament meeting to the final weigh-in, it's a great event. If you're watching and listening, even if you live in the East Coast, you can participate, right? Look into it. It's a great event. I'd recommend it. So definitely want to get back out there and compete against you again, Roy. And, man, congrats. 2 in a row. That's
Thank you, brother.
unbelievable.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What a great.
Hey, 2 in a row.
Not 2 in a row, but 2 wins. That's great. Yeah, it's awesome.
Roy, what are you drinking tonight?
This is actually Red Bull on the rocks.
Vodka?
Where's the vodka?
No vodka.
Just
You know
Red
what,
Bull, regular.
A couple months ago, I got the COVIDs, and after I got that, I've never touched alcohol again.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
Dave went through the same
Months
thing
ago.
for a while.
Really?
Yeah.
Yep.
Huh.
Yep.
The
It'll come
old
back,
COVIDs
Roy.
took the alcohol away.
It'll come back.
Wow.
Stand strong, brother.
Damn, that's another reason not to get the vid.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's definitely a reason not to. Huh. Interesting. Huh.
I'm drinking.
I mean, how do you plan on going to sleep tonight? You just straight freaking
Yeah, how do you do
Red
that?
Bull, dude?
It's 8 out there.
It's Red Bull.
Chase your wife around the house.
Yeah.
I got you.
Enough laps.
Yes.
And you're good.
Yes.
Yeah, no, I'll be all right.
Yeah, you'll be all
I'll
right.
be all right.
You'll be all right.
Wow.
Roy, great job
My
last
man.
week, man.
Yeah.
Great win.
Thanks,
Thanks for
brother,
coming
and thanks
on.
for coming out, dude. You
Oh,
brought a lot
dude.
of attention to
Are you
what we
kidding
do out
me?
here. So
I'll be back.
Yeah.
I'll be back for that one.
thanks.
There you have it.
I'm fishing it next year in my little boat.
Yeah, Brian's fishing.
Hell
it, too.
yeah.
I'll
Like
be,
live
I'll be at
boat.
the ramp embarrassed.
You know,
Brian Tracker, 1998.
No,
baby.
here's the thing. We were talking about bad luck earlier
Oh,
with
yeah.
Zell, like when Zell dropped his boat off the cliff at Mead.
Yeah.
Dude, if Brian went out as a AAA, like both of his partners' boats would catch on fire.
No, they would wait till I got on it.
They'd wait till you got on it. The one guy the boat would catch on fire. The second day, you'd be running out to your spot. A coot would hit you in the head and knock you out.
Oh, fuck that coot.
The houseboat would sink.
The houseboat
like
would
that
sink.
I'll slap that coot upside his head.
Brian, you're
You punch
welcome
like
in
a
my boat
stingray.
anytime. I ain't scared.
My man. Thank you, buddy.
Roy's not scared to have you. Pre-practice with
Heck
Roy.
no.
You sure you want to ask for that? That's
How dare you?
that's bad mooch.
Let Roy go. Let Roy
right.
go. Stop drinking.
Break off a suspended fish in 70 feet of water.
Yeah.
Hung up on
Oh,
nothing.
man.
100-pound braid breaks it off.
Fucking
8-foot flipping stick.
Open water.
open water hung up. What the fucking fuck?
This is how it always goes, Roy. I'm so sorry.
Hey, it's all good.
Put this pole here.
It's
all
like
good.
it's like the dinner with the in-laws that never ends, and they just keep talking.
We'll edit this crap out on the post.
Well, I didn't edit
No, we
shit.
won't.
We won't
'cause
edit
we don't
it
have
out?
anyone to do
Oh,
that.
we don't have anyone.
We'll post it on social media.
That's damn right.
Roy, thanks for coming on, man.
Yeah.
You bet, man. Thanks for having me.
All right, have a good
All
night.
right, awesome.
Roy Hawk,
Roy.
everybody. Yes.
Hey, quick
Yes.
shout out to Wawa Hoagie Lady.
Yeah. Wawa Hoagie Lady?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Went up to Fish Nakamixon last Wednesday.
Yeah.
With her?
Like 3 days ago.
Yeah.
With her, him.
Yeah.
And she, him. And he fucking jackknifed his trailer on the way out of there.
Really?
And blame Brian.
Blame me.
Wait,
Oh, did he?
how?
Of course he did.
I don't know. You know, Johnny's got that freaking blueberry colored Durango.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh.
The Maserati.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
The Dodge Zerati.
I'm still trying to figure out, like, how did he jackknife it? Like, what
Well,
was
here's
he
the-
trying to do?
Here's the thing. It could have been worse. He could have put it over a cliff like Zell.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, dude.
Yeah, it could have been worse.
Roy's still
seriously.
here.
Roy's still here.
Yeah,
Yes! Roy, yes.
What's up?
You're like Jimmy.
Ever notice our guests
Wait a
never
minute.
leave?
Wait,
They want to leave.
Roy's like
Finally
Jimmy.
got on the show. You know, I'm not leaving.
Roy's like Jimmy Houston. We're gonna hear a dog barking and we're gonna hear giggling. Roy, we had Jimmy on, and like Jimmy went off, and like 20 minutes, 30 minutes later, all of a sudden we hear like.
Well, the best part is Jimmy couldn't hear us, and we couldn't hear him
No.
for the entire time he was on.
The whole
But
time
then
he
he's
was on.
off the show, and we start hearing his dog, and magically he can hear us.
Yeah, we hear all of a sudden we hear, and then we're like, when we're looking around, and we're like, what the hell? We
Yeah.
thought it was in studio.
It was you and I looking at each other.
Yeah, we're
Dave's
looking
like,
around.
Dave's like, that's a ghost. That's
Yeah,
a
I'm
ghost.
looking around. We're
And
looking at-
Bud Simply's like, no.
Yeah, we're looking at the vents. We're looking at all kinds of shit, and then all of a sudden we hear. We realize Jimmy Houston's
There
still
he is.
on.
Producer got drunk and forgot to hang up on him.
Was here. So Roy's still here too. Poor guy.
Brian's drunk again.
How about old Ish popping back in on the last episode?
On his date.
On his date, yeah. Oh man.
Oh, that
That's
fucking
awesome.
guy.
All right, I'm gonna officially hang up.
Good night, Roy.
You're the
Man,
best,
Roy.
Roy.
Thank you. Thank you.
Good night.
Oh my God, that's so funny.
Yeah. No,
Does
Ish
Ish
gave
use
us.
forward-facing sonar or just Tinder?
He has both. He's a Lowrance guy.
Who?
Yeah, she's got Lowrance. He's got it on his Lowrance. He has forward-facing sonar and Tinder, both on the Lowrance.
That's probably a good widget. You could put it on the side of the Lowrance screen.
You can.
Live, yeah.
I think you could do that. I think you could do it.
We're on the Becky Live right now.
All right, Beck.
Good.
Yeah. Huh.
So what's next?
Is there a Flyers game coming up?
Well, we do have to do. Yeah.
Yeah, tomorrow.
You want to talk about that real quick?
This is why we have to go to bed tonight, y'all.
We do have to. Oh shit, that's right.
Do I have 2 tickets?
Yeah.
All right.
And Riz too, right?
I got 4.
Who you bringing?
Tomorrow I got Adam, Jim, and Jay.
So you got 3. Who the
Yeah.
fuck is Jay?
He's the extra because Willworth bailed. So
Adam, Jim, and Jay. Oh,
Adam,
so you do
Adam
have 4.
founded
Okay,
Jay.
so as we talk, the Ike Foundation is doing a promotion. I think you can still get tickets if you head to the Ike Foundation's Facebook page or to the website. You can get information. But we have, I think they're $45 a ticket to go to the Flyers game tomorrow night. So we're all
Who
going.
do they play?
Kraken.
Seattle
Yeah.
Oh,
Kraken.
the Kraken.
Who the frick is that?
Seattle.
They're
It's one of
from
the
Seattle?
new teams.
Kraken.
Yeah.
This was actually one that was hard to get tickets for because it sold out really quick because people are excited about this new team.
Yeah, people were like, we wanted to see the Kraken
Yeah.
play.
Kraken.
And you know what? If you can't go to the game, still go to IkeFoundation.com
Yeah, Ike
or
Foundation.
.org and support.
Thank you.
.org.
Oh, and the scholarship tickets are out.
What?
Yes,
I'm
it's
not
We're
gonna-
actually having it.
We're having it.
Already
yeah,
got a table.
but we got
Yes.
COVID.
I
Already got a
can't
table.
tell you. So
No COVID.
I kept
COVID.
seeing all
COVID.
the Eventbrites come in,
COVID.
and there was like a handful. I think there was like 7 or 8, whatever. I'm like, oh, ladies, this is so exciting. We're selling tickets. They're like, no, we're not selling tickets. Those are tables. So if you want to
Ooh.
go, people are really excited. So to Jake's point, like, I wouldn't hold out and wait till the last minute because we do have to cap because of COVID.
Right, but here's-
so I would get your table.
Here's the deal, though. The scholarship dinner banquet's always a great event. It's always fun. We've
It's the
had
best one of the year.
It's a great event. Food's great. The drink's great. We've had DJs. We've had guest speakers. But we are doing something different this year that makes it really fun. Can you
Really?
talk about this
I
already?
can finally talk about
All
this.
right,
'cause
listen to
it's
this.
legal.
Listen to
We
this. This is going to sell
finally-
tables right
we
here.
finally got authorization from the state. We be gambling that night. We have gambling tables. We're going to have like craps and roulette.
Craps? The craps? You're going to have the craps?
Isn't that how you say it?
Yeah. You're going to have the craps.
Why does he make fun of me?
No, I don't know.
So we're gonna have like gambling tables. It's not for money. It's all
Blackjack.
It's all gonna be for like tickets that then you can put towards like
Right.
because you can't actually gamble for money. But no, so we're gonna have a lot of
like we've
extra
done that
fun
before.
stuff. We did it at the casino night that we did at Yards.
Oh
Yeah, we did.
Yeah,
have a
but we
casino
got
night.
like more tables this time.
So,
And
so we
That's
still got
cool.
all the baskets and stuff,
Yeah.
right?
yeah, we still have all
Okay.
the baskets. And so basically,
Did you hear this, Brian?
Brian will win the
You
Longwood
can-
Gardens basket again.
Are we calling it a Wuhan auction?
We're playing roulette.
We're doing this year at the
We're-
Ike Foundation Scholarship Dinner. We have
Chinese auction?
we have gambling.
gambling.
It's going to
Put
be
it all
fun.
on Black
We have
17.
gaming
Yeah.
tables.
Gaming tables. So
Fucking
blackjack,
Yeah, so it's gonna be
craps.
fun.
It's going to be
Where
fun.
we at?
Super fun.
Down here?
Same place. Yeah. Yeah.
Nice.
I
There's
like
not
that.
a lot of places that can hold
No, because of COVID.
300. No, just because
Oh.
places aren't built to hold 300 people. It's
Okay.
very hard to
300
find.
I'm happy that one's coming back, honestly, because like
Hell yeah,
the older you get, and like I'm saying, like
How
I'm
dare
almost
you.
30.
This
But like it's
motherfucker.
hard. It
Still in his
becomes-
20s.
It becomes harder and harder to like get the whole group of everyone
Yeah.
together,
Yeah.
everyone
No
that you're
shit.
that
Half
you're
my
the
friends are
closest
dead,
with,
bro. What are you
right?
talking about?
Yeah.
And for the years before COVID, Ike Foundation dinner, that was the night that it's
Yeah.
like everybody's
It's
gonna
fun.
be there. You get
It's a fun
everybody
night,
together. So I'm happy it's coming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
COVID.
Actually, I met a guy at the kayak tournament that told me that you know, everyone in his neighborhood, there's different ethnicities and religions and all sorts of stuff. He's like, so the holidays, it's kind of hard to give like a Christmas gift to all my neighbors. He said, so I give them all a ticket to the scholarship dinner and we all go together and have a table and have fun like as neighbors.
Yeah. That's
cool.
I thought that was brilliant.
It's very brilliant.
Yeah.
It's very cool.
It's
cool.
We got that table quick. The Haas's will be there.
I saw that. I saw that.
Yeah,
That's good.
they got next year's table too.
And I did address it earlier in the show, but the Ike Foundation event in Vineland with the Vineland Police Department went great,
amazing.
right?
Yeah, it was
good.
Awesome.
Good.
Awesome.
Good
so
stuff.
happy to get back out, get kids on the water. We were able to have 100 kids, and they got to take home their rods and their, you know, their tackle
Freaking
boxes
awesome.
and all sorts of stuff.
Love
it was
it.
great. The police department was amazing. It
And
was
stocking,
great.
too. Stocking some lakes.
Yeah, we did stock that lake. Yep, sure did.
That's awesome.
Yo, Rich, where you at?
Yeah, Rich.
Huh?
Does Pete, you have anything fantabulous since Pete isn't here to tell us?
Yeah. I mean, as always, we're releasing 3 new videos a week. Still got an awesome deal going on right now, guys. If you're serious about your fishing, go head over to bashu.tv. $35 get you 3 months to the program and a $25 gift card to Tackle Warehouse. Also just relaunched an awesome referral program. Get a few friends involved in Bashu TV. We're going to be hooking you up. And it was good to chat and see a lot of people this past weekend down at the Potomac River
BFL.
event.
Yep.
Yeah, to support Pete and down there,
The Pete party.
speaking the word of Bashu, if you will.
The gospel of Pete.
So it's good to get out and see people again. But yeah, head over to bashu.tv if you're serious about taking your fishing.
And give
to the
your-
next level.
But everyone literally think about what he just said. For $35, you get 3 months and $25 to Tackle Warehouse. So literally for $10,
That's
you get to
that's
try
amazing.
3
You get
months.
the gospel of Pete.
$10
Like-
and listen,
That's pretty impressive.
you sign up and you get like all the companies we work with, you get up to 40% off with every single one of the companies.
It pays
that
for
you use
itself.
Alive with. Yeah.
Pays for itself.
It's
no-
way more
it's
than
a
pays for
no-brainer.
itself.
Yeah.
If you don't sign up, you're an asshole.
One of the guys that signed up at the BFL, it was a first time thing that we've done that with Bashu, right? You know, we haven't done that level before. One of the guys that signed up annually is a guy that fished the Toyota Series this year and qualified for the pro circuit. He was one of the few guys that signed up for an annual subscription.
awesome.
So that just tells you, you know, that's a guy that is out there succeeding.
He's
on
already
the
sort of made it, but he
already-
still
he's
wants
made
to
it,
get
and
better.
he's hungry. He wants to learn.
Yeah.
So take
Yeah.
advantage of it.
Yeah. Speaking of hungry, we have one of Becky's sandwiches here.
It's been in there for like 3 weeks.
This is not one of my sandwiches because I don't eat white bread. Why is it just bread?
That looks like the first
There's
ML.
no meat in this.
Can I tell you
sandwich.
something?
What?
Can I
It's
tell
not
you a
even
funny
sandwich,
story?
It's just bread. Where'd it come from?
Dude, let me
In
tell
your
you.
refrigerator, there is a Ziploc bag with 2 pieces of bread.
Let me-
It's a friggin' jam sandwich, 2
I have
pieces of bread
no
jammed
idea.
together.
Been in there for like a month.
Dude, let me tell you the quick story of this, though, real quick. So the first ever, dude, this tells you how long I've been doing this shit. The first ever MLF event I ever fished.
This is so funny. I don't know if people
MLF
find the
event number one.
One.
Number one.
Uno.
Take it back, dude.
Mm-hmm.
MLF event number one was at anybody? Lake Amistad.
Oh.
I was going to say somewhere.
Dude,
in Maine.
this was so far back in the day that the host hotel for the event was Byron's Hotel.
Oh.
Okay?
That failed.
We stayed at Byron's Hotel. By the way, the hotel was a dump at the time.
And
Anyway.
he gave you white bread for the morning.
No, so every day.
This is MLF before it was like MLF. Like
Right. This
Pro
was
Series.
MLF.
This was like
back in the day when it
serve.
was cool.
Yeah,
like
when
when
people
there
actually
was
wanted to watch
like
it.
no information.
Before
They just
Satan got involved.
right.
They literally just threw them out there.
Right.
without
It was
knowing.
it was the best. Anyway, so I'm not even going to say the lady's name, but they hired this lady who's a cool chick. Like she's actually, we know her and she's really cool.
She's awesome.
She's great. But they hired her to provide us the lunches for the day, right?
Yeah, but they literally were like, "Here's $20. Go feed all these
Well,
guys."
yeah,
for
but that's besides the point. So like we're out there fishing our heart out, like first period, second period,
Spitting all over the place.
we got our 15-minute break. Oh, it's all new, Oh, fuck. And then second break before the last period, they're like, oh, we got your lunches this period. And they go in the coolers, pull it out, and you're like, yes. Dude, 2 slices of bread with a piece of cheese in the middle.
What?
Major League Fishing.
That is a true story.
First event ever.
Yes.
2 slices of bread with a
followed
piece
through
of
with that order?
cheese in the middle.
What piece of cheese? No fucking mustard? Nothing?
Nothing. Government cheese in the middle of 2 pieces of bread, dude.
Government cheese.
That was the lunch. Unanimously, everybody got back and they were like,
And there was your first sign.
it was probably the first sign.
Event number 1.
It probably was.
Here's your fucking sandwich.
You
2
know
pieces of bread with a piece of fucking cheese in the middle.
Can I tell you the funniest part? Like, if anyone knows Mike and fishing, like he doesn't eat on the water.
I don't eat on the
Food
water.
is
No.
like not important.
No, I don't care. I don't
Like,
need food.
So when
don't
he
need it.
came off the water and he was like, they had lunch for us, and I'm like, oh, that's nice. Like, why are we talking about this? Like, he's been provided lunch so many times before, and it always just comes home.
Yeah,
like,
good lunch. Like
you know
good
what I mean?
lunch.
Yeah, and you don't need
And I'm
it.
like, yeah, what are you getting at? And he was like, 2 slices of bread and cheese in the middle. And I'm like,
Dude, I know what's funny
like
is
it offended Mike Iconelli, who doesn't even eat on the water.
And
You
it's back.
know
I don't
you,
care
like,
about-
struck a nerve.
his sandwiches suck so bad. Like,
Yes.
yeah,
He
like,
doesn't even put like moisture in them. Like
Nothing.
who doesn't put? Okay, listen, I'm a mustard person.
Turkey,
but
right?
who
cheese, bread.
doesn't put some sort of moisture to keep your
Yeah.
bread together? This guy,
I don't need
dry.
no moisture.
Oh, and that's the other thing he does. He does his
Peanut butter
turkey
jelly,
and cheese or
turkey and
whatever.
cheese,
ham
smush
and
it.
cheese. Ham and
Smush
cheese
it.
smashes
Or
them.
And
ham
he
and cheese. I like
smushes
turkey
them.
too.
Why does he smush them
Smush
before
it.
he eats it?
They go down
Make
faster.
it pressed.
It's because there's no moisture.
Get it down quick.
You have to smush it.
I don't even eat it anyway. It doesn't matter. Who cares? I got time to eat that sandwich. I got to be finding fish.
You better eat it. I make sandwiches.
Speaking of finding
Right?
fish,
Special ones.
yeah. Speaking of finding fish, Brian, let's not break another segment. Let's go ahead and go right into this because
Yeah.
don't you think?
Yeah, fuck yeah. We ain't breaking shit.
Yeah. Let's not break into another segment.
Sorry.
This is really the highlight of the show, and we save this for the end because it's like the grand finale. I would call it like fireworks.
Yeah.
The exclamation point.
I'm about
This
to get
is
a good bait on this show.
Yeah, Brian, we are the only live podcast, live webcast
Probably, yeah.
that doesn't a mystery tackle
I
box
mean,
unboxing.
that was 8 years ago.
We still are
pointed
the
that
only
line.
ones.
Still are.
And let me tell you, dude, this thing right here is juice. This happens to be the Elite box. That's right. It's that maroon colored box. This is heavy.
Elitist.
Feel that, John.
Wow, actually, it's really
That's
heavy.
actually
That is
really heavy.
Yeah.
And you know this is my favorite part, Riz. I've been saying it for years. You know what it is. I like to break the seal. Listen, you ready?
My favorite part is for how many years we've been doing this, I always get last pick.
You get last pick.
New guy right here.
Well, why
will
don't
get
you
picked
come
before
over?
me.
before
Stop
you.
whining and walk
didn't win
over
this
and just
weekend.
take
Who's
something.
whining? I'm
He
stating
can't
facts.
walk over.
I
He's
didn't win
doing.
this
He's
weekend.
doing
Stating
stuff
facts.
over
What's
there.
he possibly doing?
He's pushing buttons.
Chewing
not-
gum,
Walk over?
talking and shit.
What?
All right.
Stop complaining and come over
All
and
right.
take something.
So you guys know the deal. We're going to look in here. Ooh. Wow. Man, that's going to be a hard one to pick. Oh, God. This is a rocking box. I got to be honest with you. Damn. Man, I don't know what to pick. Can I pick 2 this time?
No, just pick something.
All right, whatever. But I like these. Can you
Stop
pick those for me? All right. You know the real deal here. We're gonna
There's
pick a
so
lure
many
and keep going.
plastics in here.
Brian the Carpenter.
Oh, what's that thing?
I picked the spinner bait. I don't think I've ever picked a spinner bait out of an MTB box. But look at this. You ready for this one? Chopper blades.
What?
Do you even know what chopper blades are? You do. All right. Yeah. Chopper blades, dude. Very unique. Brian, I'm going to tell you this.
Jimmy Houston.
This is a weird hybrid blade. I would call it part willow, part Colorado, with a weird hook in it. These are chopper blades, heavy pressured bodies of water, where all they see is willows and Colorados. Chopper blades are different, dude. I forgot about this bait. I forgot about it. A mystery tackle box put it in my hands. So chopper blade, spinner bait. That's actually by Black Fry Lures.
Black Frog.
Dude,
Right.
this is juice, this box.
Dude, that box is juice.
There's
Beck, what do you got?
There's so much stuff in that box.
Yeah.
Okay, so I picked out the Ketchko Zuki bug.
Zuki.
I have never seen anything like this. There has to be the most massive amount of movement.
A lot of
So,
appendages on that.
Flutter wings and tickle tail. So it's like it's black with a blue fleck. But look, like even though like there's ribbing on the bottom and like this looks almost like some dragon sort of thing.
Well, here's the thing about that bait. You could Texas rig it. You could Carolina rig it.
Yeah, they say
There's a lot of stuff you could do with
Texas
that.
or Carolina.
Yep, Texas or Carolina.
I've never seen anything with so many.
Definitely. I could see that.
This appendages thing here.
It's pretty dope.
That's very dragon-esque.
Yeah, there's that chopper blade too, Brian. By the way, real quick, if you want to see that
what you
chopper
got,
blade.
Rich?
I got a Baker Lures JLD jerkbait.
Ooh.
And
AKA rip bait.
Yeah, I plain and simple, I picked this bait because they freaking work.
Looks like a little shad, right?
It's a little shad. It's a
about a 4-inch bait. Yeah.
Yeah, 3.25.
Yeah.
I've thrown Baker jerkbaits before. They eat them. So I'm going with the chalk. Something I know that they'll bite. Baker Lures jerkbait in the mystery tackle box. It's good stuff.
There you have it. Licorice.
Yeah, isn't that weird?
But this was hard to pick because there's some more good stuff.
There's
in that
good
box,
stuff
dude.
in that one. All right, Jake, what do you got?
I saw this in Rich's hand. He put it back to grab that. I got the Bill Lewis crankbaits, SB57, in a shad pattern there.
Ooh.
See that?
Yeah.
We're looking at 3 to 6 feet, and no noise. I'm fishing the river next weekend.
Ooh.
I'm going to put this in my pocket.
Ooh, Riz, you might just give away the winning bait right there.
Could have.
You know what I mean?
He's a boater. I don't have to worry about him.
Well, they're eating shad out there for sure. Definitely eating bait, so it's a good one. Chopper blades. Brian Carpenter, what do you got in our mystery tackle box tonight?
I'll be honest. The first thing I'm going to is the Kalins, and it's a freaking
color.
It's a fluke, man.
Old school finesse fish looking fluke. Yeah.
Yes,
yeah.
dude. I've gotten some bites off it this year. This thing is forgotten.
Yeah.
And it shouldn't be.
Minnow bait for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, I had a dude in my boat on the flats this year.
Yes.
That wore them out.
On a
I put him on a Senko bite or whatever, and he put on one of those style baits, wore their asses out.
Just twitching it or
Just
dead sticking
twitching
it? Twitching it.
Twitching it on a tiny little, like a little bit of a belly weighted hook over top of that shallow grass, low tide eel grass.
Yeah.
Looked exactly like a needlefish.
That's what Gussie went on too, right? Smellinator kind of deal.
Yeah, with the jig head.
Little jig head.
Jig head. Yeah.
Yeah. So we got that. We got them all up in here.
There's so much in that box. It's insane.
And then we got Savage Gear. This little 3.
Oh yeah, I saw those. I like those. Yeah, shad, little shad imitation swim bait.
Some shags.
I like that.
13 fishing. Got some soft plastics.
Careful. I know what might be in there.
Got some soft plastics. 13.
This box just came and it says reject.
Oh,
That's
we
gonna
got a
be Pete's
reject
box. It's gonna
All
have
black
diamond,
Senkos.
It's gonna have diamond weights in it.
It's got a pack of cigarettes.
Why does it say
pack of cigarettes.
3-inch friggin'
It's got a pack of marbles in this one. It says
High-low
reject.
rig.
High-low rig.
I've actually heard some good things about these spear point hooks. They're different shape, different looking.
Oh.
But some guys have told me
Are we
that
doing
this
this again?
stuff
I
is
wouldn't
for
call it
reals.
reject.
Looks pretty good.
I don't think it looks pretty
Yeah,
good.
no, it's fine. Curiosity.
MTB round 2.
Curiosity would kill me. Oh, look at that fancy color. 13 fishing. Rabbit ear.
Did it say reject right in front of the
Blueberry
the Mike
Yum Yum.
Iaconelli? Or?
Yeah, it did. Right on my
No,
name.
these all come in my name.
Sorry,
Oh.
Beck. Sorry, Beck. I didn't know anything about that.
Yeah, that little Bill Lewis looks dope.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
pretty sweet crankbait.
This is a very
Square
happy
bill,
color.
right?
Yep. Yep.
Look at that color. Does that make you happy?
It's got that circuit board. It looks like.
Yeah.
This looks like all that crazy iridescent stuff that I wear, doesn't it?
It does.
Yeah.
All right, we
Gold
digress.
LeMay.
No, it's like that flip-flop blue-green.
Yeah.
Hey, Mike, quick question for you.
Yeah.
Looking at all the South Jersey ramps that the concrete ends before the water,
Yeah.
what was Mead like being 100 feet low? Is there still ramp in the water?
It was
or-
crazy. So they had they actually have to they have to keep coming out to extend the ramp. So they use this.
So they actually do work.
They do some work.
Unlike in South Jersey.
No, they do
where
some
they
work.
Pretend you don't exist.
Right,
But they just collect the highest taxes in the nation.
Right.
Okay. Carry
Right.
on.
But the interesting thing is, it's like
You launch off a cliff.
It was this metal. I'm trying to think of the right way to say it. Almost like a grate that they would put down. So you were launching not on dirt, but like on this metal like grate that
yeah,
they
yeah.
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 And so like as the water lowers, they're able to just keep pushing that grate out to a certain extent, as long as the bank doesn't get like super steep.
Yeah.
So at this particular area, they said they had maybe like another 10 feet that they could go out. And then once it passed that, the bank gets to like a 45, and then we're going to have to move the entire ramp to a different area because they can only do the grate at a certain, you know, falling point, you know. Crazy. And it's I can't tell you how many people I saw that, like at the marina, people that have fished it for 15, 20 years that are like, this is sad. There's not going to be any water left. Even Rick Clun, I had a conversation with Rick. He's like, there's not going to be any water left in here. In, 10 or 15 years, it's going to be bone dry at the rate at which they're utilizing the water.
Yeah, well, we learned about that because we did the Hoover Dam tour, so we learned about where the water's going.
California?
Yeah. Cali's sucking most of it. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a shame because Nevada, where the lake actually is, they don't even take their full water rights. They've never maxed out their water rights because they know how to manage their water and.
But somebody's selling it to the other states.
Well, when they created the Hoover Dam, all those states, I guess they created some sort of.
Yeah, I got a bag of concrete.
Pact.
Yeah, pact or something, and this percent goes to this state, this percent goes to this state. Arizona and California take their whole water rights.
Yeah.
But there's not enough snow to melt.
The snow melt
to come down
has decreased.
So, global warming.
Right. Well, like that Tool song. What is it? Enema? No. Well, it's
I
about.
was born in '99.
About the end of the world? About the flood? Yeah, that's a great song.
California falling into the ocean and Arizona.
Yeah, flush it all away.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love that fucking song.
It's a great song.
Beck, I got 3 Mike-isms tonight to run past you. We had sadistically.
That's a word.
Sadistically?
Yes. We had very early in the show. We had sadistically.
I feel like that sounds like a real word.
See?
Is it not?
Yeah.
Sadistically.
Sadistically.
Yeah.
Sadistically.
Not statistically.
No, sadistically, like meaning like crazy, like
evil.
Evil,
Like
devilish.
sadistic.
Yeah.
Like putting yourself
That
through
had
something
nothing
that's
to do with the
terrible.
conversation
Yes, it
you were
did.
trying to have.
Sure, it did.
Was he trying
Rewind
to say
the tape.
statistically?
Probably.
All right, next one.
Then we had miffed, which he was miffed,
Miffed?
but it was in a positive manner. He was
No, I was
miffed.
miffed. I'm miffed by. I was confused. I'm miffed. I'm thrown off.
Yeah, he was very happy, and he was miffed with Zell. And then there was Sapphire.
Sapphire blue.
Oh, sapphire.
Right, sapphire. That's what I said. Sapphire.
So
Sapphire.
Sadistically is in a way that involves getting pleasure, sometimes sexually, by being cruel. By being cruel to or hurting another person.
There you have it. That's exactly what I meant.
He
That's why
appeared
he
to
enjoyed the
enjoy
fish on Lake
sadistically
Statistically.
tormenting his weak. Never mind.
It's exactly what I
I'm not
meant.
even saying the next word.
It's exactly what I meant.
Okay.
Sadistically. All right.
I
myth
like
come
that
at
you
us?
called sapphire Sapphire.
Sapphire.
Sapphire?
It had nothing
Sapphire.
to do with the color.
Sapphire
oh,
blue.
No, you're right. It was about the color.
Yeah, it was about the color.
Sapphire.
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 Sapphire. All right, let's give away.
Miffed is a
Yeah, you're aggravated.
yeah.
You're miffed. Mike wasn't aggravated when he was
No, I
using the
was.
word.
I was miffed. I was confused.
No, the fuck.
That's
Yeah, rewind the tape.
confused is not myth.
Whatever. You know what I meant. Let's give away this Ike Live gift bag here. What do you think? Riz, all night we've been asking people over on Facebook to
Riz.
like and share.
Riz, you got Riz.
to like and share the feed.
Yep,
and
right.
we're going to be giving this away over on Facebook tonight to one lucky winner. And how do we pick this? It's random, right, Jake?
It's very random.
Okay. So we're
we
picking
take all the names, put them on a wheel,
Yeah.
spin it real quick.
Okay, we'll go put it through the randomizer, and who's our winner of the Ike Live Facebook like share night? What do we got?
Tonight's winner is Josh Mutters.
Josh Mutters.
Woo! Taking chances.
Josh Mutters, you're gonna get all 23 pounds of this massive bag
It's
in your
growing.
face, coming to you.
They're getting heavy in the live well.
23 pounds of massive
They're
bag
not spitting up
in your
crawfish,
face.
They're eating them.
Oh, wait, Josh.
Wait. What does
No,
Josh
wait, hold
do
on.
for a living? Why
Jo-
is his name so familiar?
Josh, we're throwing in white bread.
Give him the white bread.
That's coming
Ask
to you.
Josh what he does for a living.
Becky made that white bread.
That is not my white
It's
bread.
got a good smell to it.
Sign the white bread.
Do we know Josh?
Josh is a author.
Yes. He's the author of the
children's book?
children's
Of the
book.
book.
Yeah!
I knew his name was familiar.
Wow. I'm glad he won.
Yeah.
And he gets the white bread, too, which is a bonus.
Josh, I'll take that up.
No. Keep the bread in there.
No, so if you check Mike's social feed, Josh wrote the most adorable
It's a great
and
children's book. I'm telling you.
informative
It's a
kids
it's a great
book about
kids book. Dude.
fishing.
It's awesome.
It's
I've
so
seen
awesome.
the plugs for it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a great book.
It's a
So
great book. It's a
if,
great book,
If
yeah.
you have a kid or you know a kid, check out
I was a kid.
Mike's Facebook page.
Yeah.
It's a really great book. He's got a Kickstarter, so you can pre-purchase his book.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. The book. Here's the cool thing about the book. It, in a very fun way, it helps you identify species of fish for like a young kid.
Yeah.
I thought that was really cool. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like instead of going the other way where you're like, this is the scientific, and like kids get overwhelmed by that. You know what I mean? Like he did in a fun way. Like here's freshwater species of fish and this, that. I thought it was awesome.
I was reading about that. Like, there were some previews on your page about the catfish.
Yeah.
It's got the spines.
Yeah.
We've all been spined by catfish.
Oh, yeah.
We got to teach kids that they got the spines.
Yeah. Like that time that one got me at Bear Ass Beach and over on Green Acres in Runnymede.
Yeah.
And he got me and I was so angry and frustrated and pissed off I stepped on the catfish and broke him in half.
Did
Remember
you?
that? Oh yeah.
Is there a stingray in the book?
I don't know. If there's a stingray in the book.
What?
The enzymes.
Why is that the story you feel the need to share as we're talking about this guy's amazing
No,
book?
the book's amazing. I'm just saying it. Bear Ass Beach back in the day.
Okay, don't tell it. Don't tell it. It's okay.
Oh, okay.
Runnymede.
Half catfish. I have. them.
Josh, we're excited to send you this.
We are excited. To send it.
Yes. Thank you for being
Josh,
here.
you
And
won.
the sandwich.
Not the sandwich.
The bread. We're all
Why,
gonna sign it.
Beck,
with a
why
Sharpie.
was there just? Yeah, we were signing that bread.
We could actually put just one slice of cheese in and call it an MLF sandwich. No,
That's
dang,
bad, man.
That didn't come across right, did it? I
That's
meant
bad.
from like the story, the funny. Never mind. Someone's gonna take that and be like, Becky doesn't
Yeah.
like. I love everyone.
Shout out the Bass Regionals giving out the best sandwiches I've ever had.
Really?
Actually,
Yeah.
I don't love everyone.
Tomato cheese in South Carolina,
I
dude.
enjoy making fun of everyone.
Agreed.
Oh no.
Brian, what a good show tonight.
Is anyone still watching?
What a good show. I don't know if anybody's watching, but I got to tell you, Riz, great show tonight.
was,
I would say double whammy tonight, Brian, with
fun.
a goat like a past
That was fun, dude.
I'm
Dude,
sad that I missed it.
that was
I'll
so great to
tell
have him
Pete to
Zell
sit-
on there.
He can sit out every time we
Yeah.
have Zell Rowland on
Dude.
or Rick Klon on.
Yeah.
Pete,
Pete,
this one out,
take
buddy.
a nap,
Yeah,
Pete.
yeah. Zell was great, and then it was cool because then like the very next guest was Roy,
Yeah.
who's a modern goat in the making still. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and a great dude and a really good dude. It was nice to have him on too.
Oh, hell
Talk
yeah.
a
It's
little
cool
bit
hearing
about his
about
win.
the U.S. Open and like how,
Oh, yeah.
how it's different and the format and
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah.
It's pretty sweet.
Nah,
was
it
great.
was cool to see both guys were so excited to come on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They,
Oh, yeah.
They really were.
Yeah,
you
it's
know?
pretty awesome. I don't know, Brad. Next show could be maybe a couple weeks. I don't know. We got to figure that out. We got a Halloween special
Halloween.
coming or no?
Yeah.
Or what do we got?
Yeah, we have dress up.
I know.
I know. I was just going to say how disappointed I am that we have no dressing up in the works.
It ain't over yet.
It's not over yet because
ain't there yet.
Halloween is on a Sunday.
I love to dress up.
Halloween's October
Come on.
31st.
Let's make Pete be like mashed potatoes or something.
Like,
Yo,
ser-
Again?
I got a good one for you.
You
I
know
gotta
Pete's
go
not watching, so I'm making Pete dress up to the next one, and we won't even dress up. We'll just make his ass sit
Oh,
here
yeah, that's
as a
it.
mashed
For that.
potato.
I'm all about it.
Old school Pete, I got a story for him of driving through a pumpkin patch. And you know he's not listening. He's in bed already.
Old school Pete?
There was a story of Pete probably like 20, 30 years ago driving through somebody's pumpkin patch at
He
a
was already
tournament.
40 at that point.
So if you bring Pete as a pumpkin, we got him. We got a good story for him.
Wow. Driving through
We
a
need
pumpkin
ideas.
patch.
People send us ideas because I'm plumb out of group ideas because we've done so many.
We've done a lot of good
we
ones.
have done.
Star
remember when we
Wars,
were Star Trek too.
Star Trek,
Let's be the Fab
Anchorman.
Anchorman.
Nobody.
Anchorman
Fab
was a
Five?
fun one.
Fab Five. Who's that?
Fab Five. No.
Fantastic Four.
Fadigan.
We haven't done Marvel. Like we literally could all be Marvel superheroes.
No, we did do Marvel.
No.
We didn't do Marvel.
Yeah,
What did we
Marvel,
do when
DC.
Tackle Warehouse was here?
We did
Corey.
the Avengers.
Yeah, that's
Marvel.
Marvel.
What were we?
I don't know. I was a
See, I told you we did Marvel.
Brian
Oh,
was
you're right.
Gamora.
I was the ship. I was the
You were
chick with
Gamora.
Yeah,
I
you
was
were
Gamora.
or whatever.
We did do
Wow.
Marvel.
Who was Thanos? Somebody was Thanos. I remember that.
Corey, because his
Corey
head's
was-
so big.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the other thing at Vegas. So we went to, we did the tourist trap shit with the kids because, in Vegas,
Yeah.
when you got kids, that's all you can do.
The
we went
Madame.
Madame Tussauds,
Tussauds,
the
yeah.
wax museum.
So fun.
And we're walking through, and there's all these, like people that are famous and
Yeah.
like, modern
Yeah,
celebrities
we
and
do a wax
athletes.
museum.
And then there was the dude from Hangover that looks like Corey.
Yeah.
So I got next to him, and I'm like, and we took a picture and sent it to Corey.
Awesome.
Yeah, we need some ideas. I remember at some point somebody threw around like Flintstones. Like this was years
Flintstones would be a
ago.
good one.
We'd like.
Does anybody even know what young people don't even know what Flintstones is?
Do you know what the
anymore.
Flintstones
You guys
are?
have done
Jake?
Brady
I
Bunch?
do.
Have you done Brady Bunch?
No.
No. Oh my nose!
Yeah, but like, how many of you would have to dress up as women?
I don't know.
Marsha.
I'm the only woman. Like, we
wouldn't be
need
the first
more
time.
male-dominated groups. I don't know.
What
I'm
about
plumb-
bands? Like, could we be like, I don't know, like
Hey, hey, we're the Monkeys?
name some bands, bro.
Beatles.
The Beatles?
The Beatles,
Monkeys?
yeah.
AC/DC?
You know, we should be one.
The Who?
One of those like German clogging, like like the clogging.
Doesn't Tom do
And
that?
the whole time we
Punisher?
could just no.
Definitely.
Let's dress up
Yeah,
as
Tom
Amish.
Clogs.
Are we still live?
Are we?
I think. We got like 30 people on.
Do we?
Yeah.
This is what happens after we
I
turn
see
off and we
17.
forgot and just.
And you got
17:30.
YouTube.
Has anyone sent us ideas though?
No.
Or are they all just watching us
Nah,
talk stupid?
they're
They
just
fell asleep
watching.
with their phones on.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah,
The
there's-
question is,
Let's
is
make it a social media poll or something this
Yeah.
week.
Yeah,
that'd be cool.
Let's
Yeah.
creatively
Yeah.
get people wondering. 'cause
There is a big
there's definitely
question.
a lot of stuff
We
out
need
there.
help.
There's a lot of guys that were announced on Bass University of fishing the NPFL. The question goes to Mike. Are you fishing NPFL, the elites? The question still stands on the message board.
I wouldn't
That's
rule
a
anything
really
out
nice
right
question.
now.
You should tune into our costume special, and maybe we'll tell you something.
LMFAO.
There you
There's
go.
going to be an announcement for an announcement.
What did they? Can I
Yeah,
ask you
we
something?
might
Did
make
they
an
officially announce those other dudes that were rumored? Are they
Yeah.
officially
Oh,
in?
yeah, they're
Yeah.
announced.
100%.
Who?
Yeah.
Hackney?
Hackney.
Patrick.
Patrick Walters.
Yeah.
Buddy Gross, right?
Wow.
Bogo.
I
Buddy
believe-
Gross.
Yeah.
Damn.
Who the
Who to what the?
oh, God, I can't think.
I wonder if they've
Jalava.
signed up to fish, or did they pay them to fish?
Huh?
Yeah.
Say it again.
NPFL.
Yes.
I wonder how they got those guys to come fish.
I think they came to them.
Yeah, I don't know.
You
I
know
wonder if
who
they
I
comped
love?
them. I wonder if they comped the
Luke
entry fees to those
Duncan.
guys.
I think
They
I
would
love
never.
Luke
They would never
Duncan.
come out and publicly say that because, you wouldn't want to cause mutiny in the ship. But I feel like they got their entry fees paid.
you don't feel like
I don't know.
you
man.
don't feel like those guys are just going over there thinking they're just going to mop up on
That's what I think.
the field.
I think they're going over there playing.
How embarrassing it would be if they went over there and didn't mop up, which is very possible.
It's fishing.
Very possible.
I beat Ike in the Winter League.
You have beat me many a times. I'm serious.
Beck,
It's
the only-
fishing.
The only idea we have is the Adams family right now. That's all we got.
The Adams
That's a good
Motley
one.
Crue.
That's a good one.
There you go. There you go.
Who's gonna be cousin it? It'll be Pete. We'll
What?
just put Pete and cousin it.
You
Okay, I like that person.
That was Wild Bill. Wild Bill.
Wild Bill. Oh, we love you,
Bill,
Wild.
hope
you,
you're
Bill.
doing all right, man.
Yeah.
He's been going through some shit lately.
Shout out to Bill, man. We love Bill.
All right, let's peace out.
All right. I hope everybody had a great night. Want to thank our in-studio guests, Rizzo, Miss Becky, Jake, Brian the Carpenter. Also want to thank our live guest, the GOAT, Zell Rowland. Also, 2-time U.S. Open champion Roy Hawk. Want to thank all you guys for tuning in. Know you got a lot of choices out there like shitty football, so thank you for tuning in. We'll see you on the next one. Good night. Bye, everybody. Bye. 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 The boy that cried wolf. Look at that.
Again?
Look at it. Again.
We're crying
Look
wolf.
at it.
It's so
He's
scary.
still using it.
I don't understand who made this and
I
why
know.
we would show this.
I like it, though.
It is very scary.
No, I like it. It's great.